High School Sports Live in partnership with 27 is proud to present Bishop McDevitt in Middletown. The broadcast is brought to you by our premier sponsors, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Good evening, everyone. I'm Todd McCall along with Jerome Presley. Archie Smith Jr. and Grace Grill will be providing sideline support tonight. This is something in the air here at War Memorial. Right from the get-go, Middletown 2-0, Bishop McDevitt 2-0, two teams that have now district titles. Bishop McDevitt has been in the state championship several times. Now Middletown is becoming a consistency. 2 years in a row. Jerome, there was something the moment we pulled up in the parking lot, something the moment we saw this game in 2018 for our upcoming schedule, that we say this is what Friday nights are made for.
I'll tell you what, Middletown, there's something brewing here, and there's something been brewing here for years. You know, 2 times they've been to the state championship game. They've lost both games, but when you go to the state championship, you set a precedent. So coming in here today, this is going to be a big test for them in season against Bishop McDevitt. And they both have key players, and we'll look at Bishop McDevitt to start off. You know, at the receiver position, they are explosive all over the field. And Isaiah Burnett, it seems like we've been covering this kid for years, and now the Syracuse recruit is starting out a very good season, really being explosive downfield. Tynus Becker is the other receiver, so they have receivers to burn at each end of the field. That's going to be tough for Middletown, and he's able to stretch the field as well. So he's going to give Middletown an opportunity for some fits. On the other side, we can't talk about Middletown without talking about the big running back they have, and that's Jose Lopez. Jose Lopez had over 1,700 yards last year, coming in now 342 yards rushing in 2 games. So he's already shown what he can do, and he has breakaway ability as well. And at the quarterback position, Scott Ash is going to be needed to be the instructor of this offense. He doesn't have to do tons because he has such a good running game, but against Bishop McDevitt, he may be counted on to throw the ball a little bit more and to keep that pressure from that front 7 off of him.
I think one of the special things tonight, and anybody that's looking in here tonight to look at this game is not about division. No. You know, normally by this time we're already starting talking about divisional race, that type. Wait a minute. Scratch that out. It's about pride. It's the pride of the capital region. Middletown has wanted this big game, I think, for many years. And Bishop McDevitt goes, hey, we're part of these big games all the time. But, you know, this is kind of where both programs are heading. They're heading in the same direction as a football looked like was coming over my head. You know, I'm always ducking around here. But tonight, when you're looking at both teams and you're looking at the crowd and you're maybe one key if you're Middletown tonight, at home.
Well, I think the key is feed off the crowd, do what you do. Don't try to get outside yourself. Run the ball. You have a good running back, and typically they have 2. You can do that. Feed off the crowd. They are a good team. They don't have to prove anything to anybody, except in this game, they're stepping up a little bit in the season, and that's a good thing for them.
And then when you're Bishop McDevitt, you know, coming on the road, they're kind of used to these big games on Friday night. I don't know if we knew this when we were coming in, but when this game was actually set in the schedule, we never knew that we were going to have the leading passer in the area as well as the leading rusher. If you're McDevitt, this is kind of old hat for them, one key.
I would say in the same breath, do the exact same thing that you do. Big plays, big plays, big plays. You have stars all over the field. Chase Deal at quarterback is phenomenal. We watched this kid grow up. Do what you do, big plays and hit on him.
Well, it's Friday night, a big one here on ABC 27. Kickoff coming right up after these messages.
I am anything I want to be.
I am one of the faces of Commonwealth Charter Academy.
I go to school online, tuition free.
I learn best at my own pace.
My own pace.
I see school differently. I learn from anywhere.
From anywhere. I'm an artist.
I'm a musician.
I am an athlete. I am anything I want to be.
And I won't stop learning.
I am CCA.
Join me today at ccaeducate.me.
Welcome to War Memorial Field, Middletown. Bishop McDevitt. Bishop McDevitt will have the ball first, set to kick. Is Avery Williams back to receive? Is Becker and Tinker? You got to be very careful with Becker. He took one 100 years. The up man will take it. And that's Julian Jordan will be drilled real hard. And you hear the Middletown crowd tonight. Jerome, Archie Smith Jr. with us, and Grace Grill down on the sidelines. The crowd is really heavy, thick on both sides. The McDevitt side always bringing a great crowd. Over here in Middletown, there's no place to sit tonight. And Jerome, it's because the magnitude of the matchup.
It's the magnitude of the matchup and the consistency of the Middletown program that has grown. You have a 2-time state champion or state championship game team
Right.
that has made it to that level. So they're coming in here with something to prove for themselves against a McDevitt team in the season.
Well, Chase Steele, leading passer in the mid-state area, will go to Becker right away. Becker across the 38, just shy of the 40, and he'll be pushed out of bounds by Middletown. And Jose Lopez coming up to make the tackle. You'll see him going both ways. Some of these guys playing both ways. The kicker, Avery Williams, will also, the senior, will be help leading that defense. So going to Becker early is probably a lot of what we'll see. They want to get the one thing that McDevitt has had and has this year is specialties. They have a lot of special players. Becker is converted back over. He's going to line up in the slot, also be a running back. And then he's going to Old Dominion. You got Nazir Burnett spread out wide, number 9. We're in the double Twins receivers on the right side, but that give is to the left side, and that is C.J. Ray's Diggs. That's the senior will push to the left side, so they're going to split the workload between these two guys.
Right. And Christopher Joseph on the tackle. And again, it's going to be very big for Middletown to tackle well. They can't get caught off. They can't let the energy of the game, the magnitude of the game take over. They have to still play sound football and sound fundamental football, because that's the first thing that goes when you get excited is fundamentals. So you got to keep your fundamentals coming into this game as big as it is.
And the penalty is going against McDevitt. It looked like movement. It looked like they want to get Middletown.
Oh,
was it Middletown
jumping,
encroachment?
yeah.
I thought there was a forced jump. Yeah, you can't encroachment. Well, that's going to move the ball, and that's going to benefit McDevitt. It'll be a first down. They've had a 4-play drive thus far. One pass, one run, and drawing Middletown offsides. Chase Steele will be in shotgun formation. A single receiver to his left, Twins to the right. Ray's Diggs will left side and cross across the 45-yard line. This gives us an opportunity to go down to Archie Smith Jr. Archie, I knew when you came into this one tonight, talking on the phone just this week, that you were ready for a big matchup in Middletown and Bishop McDevitt. Your thoughts on really just why we do this? This is the Friday night matchup that we want.
With programs like this, guys, this is what you really tune in for. This is what you come to the game for. This is Friday night football in Pennsylvania, guys, and I'm honored to be here.
We'll get Archie Smith's perspective as we continue through the game. Chase Steele will look quick to Becker. Becker across the 45, across the 40, inside the 35 and down at the 30-yard line. And taken down was Gage Radabaugh, will make the tackle.
And there you saw Becker. He gets the ball. He gets north-south very quickly. And that's what McDevitt wants to do. Chase Steele has grown into a very effective passer over the years. And his job is to get the ball into his playmakers' hands. That's the one thing McDevitt has always had, is playmakers at the skill position that can break big plays on a team. And we saw that with Cumberland Valley the first week. They put Cumberland Valley away because of the big plays early.
Shotgun formation for Deal. Diedrich Tinker will make a left side run.
And that's Christopher Joseph again on the tackle, number 22. And again, you want to gang tackle these guys. You want to bring a lot of hats to the ball and get a lot, make sure that you're swarming to the ball to get the ball carrier down and maybe even try to cause turnovers.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 ball on the 31-yard line. And right now, McDevitt not having any problem moving the ball. This is where, the nice mix and run here in this first possession. This is the 7th play of this drive. Twins receivers to the right, single receiver left. Deal and shotgun. Play action, and it's, boy, oh boy, when you needed a big play for Middletown, Trayvon Joseph came up and made a big play, the senior. And that's a sack.
And that was just good explosion by Joseph, beating his man. And you saw good pressure from the entire Middletown front four. You had 3 guys that broke through. So we see there, Middletown is not going to waste any time as far as trying to get at the passer. The best way, your best pass defense is a pass rush. Right. You get a pass rush, that changes everything in the back end.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just excited to see thick crowd on both sides, standing all along the end zone. War Memorial Field has been such a special place to see football. Twin receivers left and right. Deal going to put it up in the air, going to go over the top to Burnett. Burnett across the 10, 5. It's going to be a touchdown, Bishop McDevitt. Boy, they made that possession look fairly easy. Coming back from the sack, an 8-play drive.
And what you saw on that play, Middletown again brought pressure, but this time the offensive line held up. And Burnett, as we know, he can get deep very quickly. So you see Deal fades back. He just 3 steps, and all of a sudden Burnett gets deep, and there you go, touchdown.
And, you know, that was one of the concerns coming in from Middletown. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. One of the concerns was a absolutely young secondary, and with 2 Division I athletes in Burnett and Tanias Becker, they were a little bit worried here in Middletown that they might get burned in the sidelines when I'm talking about some of the fans as we come in, Arch.
Hey, guys, with a special talent like Burnett over there, receiver, as I'm a DB for Middletown, you have to respect everything. I have to know what I went through in practice this week, but that guy is just special, guys. He has a good special group over there at McDevitt, and we just got to keep getting better and keep learning as this game go on.
And what you may see sometimes, and I'm not sure if Middletown will do this, is when teams have 2 electrifying receivers like this, you play cover. So what you do is you rely on your front 4, front 3 to get pressure, and you put 7 guys in coverage. And in that play, you did see 2 Middletown players there, but Burnett was able to burn both, and that's what you don't want. You want to make sure that you have maybe a guy man under, zone over top, or some type of combination defense on him. But the problem with that is McDevitt has multiple players, so you have to find a way to figure out how to adjust to the speed on the outside.
Also, guys, they will spread them out in a 5 wide right there.
Yep.
And at high school, you rarely see a team that's going to come out and put 5 receivers out there. And they kind of presents a matchup problem when you come out there with 5 good athletes out there. And this is just going to be a coaching moment and a coaching thing that Middletown we're going to have to come back and settle down and do.
Well, it was an 8-play drive, 73 yards. Only really chewed up about 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And it started with just a nice mix. Dill will go to Burnett. Burnett will do things after the ball, push it to the 38. And then just a little bit of this that McDevitt does fairly well, and that's Tinker left side. Just run past Mix. But then over the top to Burnett, he burns 2 in the secondary, and then really pretty much waltzes into the end zone to set up a 7-0 ball game here. McDevitt up on the board pretty quick. Like I said, 8-play drive, 73 yards, and chewed up about 3 minutes on the clock. So Middletown will have their opportunity here. And going into this season, coming off a 2 state championship back-to-back visits, district championships, Brett Myers has done something very special down here, and then we know what McDevitt has done. It's been a consistent, if they don't have gold wrapped around your neck, it doesn't seem like the same McDevitt teams. So I think Middletown was wanting these opportunities to play these guys. And my goodness, laying a little bit of wood. That's Gage Radaball. He put his head down. The senior ran hard on special teams, and he said, well, if you're going to try to hit me, I'm going to hit you back.
And I mean, he's an up back, so those up backs are usually your linebackers, some linemen, and they come up, they're not into juking you. They're trying to put their head down and run you over.
All right, Middletown will have the ball, the first possession here in the first quarter. And a very feisty crowd here in the Middletown Blue Raider War Memorial Field. Scott Ash with Lopez, single back. They'll put one in motion. To give us to Richard Skies.
And this is where Middletown has to show that they can man up is in the trenches. That offensive line has to get pushed against this Bishop McDevitt front. And this front is big. They have a very large front. So when you counter that, Middletown has some good-sized kids too, but you counter that with getting up in the defensive players fast and get into those defenders and get their blocks solid on those defenders. So front against front.
Right, 2nd and 7 for Middletown. Lopez around the left side. He's got speed. Crossing the 50-yard line, picking up speed. He had 172 yards just 2 weeks ago against Northern. Yeah. And, I mean, he is the leading rusher in the area right now, and you see why. If he gets an opportunity to get away from you, look, he's running hard. One move, one bounce outside, a stiff arm, and the guy can spring himself.
Yeah.
I mean, his legs. Listen, this kid is a great back.
There's not too many in the mid-state that has the breakaway speed that Lopez had. Has the second back last year for Middletown, 1,700 yards, 1,793 yards, and 25 touchdowns from scrimmage last year rushing the ball. So you know he's explosive.
He'll pick up a quick 10. Scott Ash setting up the screen on the left side. It's activated very well to Lopez. Lopez across the 30. Down over around the 20. And he'll be pushed out of bounds. And that's a great play call. That's one of them you go in the book. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. Archie, Lopez's quick 10 yards and then set up a perfect screen on the left side to the guy you want to have the ball in his hands, Arch.
They are feeding their monster. They're feeding their playmaker. And as you can see, Middletown is coming out with a drive of their own, guys. Looking pretty good down here.
Third play of the drive. Both times, to both touches, at 25, Lopez. That doesn't surprise you. Single, double receivers on the right side. Ask one up and down the line to make the call. 7:16 to play here in the first quarter. Give to Lopez, right side. Lopez putting his head down, spinning around, crossing the 20-yard line.
And one of the things that Middletown will do is they're a two-back offense. If when Lopez gets tired, he needs to get a spell, what do? They bring in Richie Sykes. Sorry about that. Richie Sykes has 220 yards rushing as well.
Right.
So they know that they can bring him in to spell Lopez, and he can do pretty much the same thing.
It's a personal foul against Middletown. The carry was Amari Hopkins was on the carry. A personal foul is going to back him up.
And this is something you definitely don't want if you're Middletown. You give up a quick scoring strike for McDevitt. Now it's your turn, and you have a good drive coming. You're doing everything you need to do, getting the ball into your playmaker, and then all of a sudden you have a penalty, and a big penalty that's going to back you up.
Yeah, Middletown was driving. Personal foul will back them up. They're across the 20. So Ash will have it. First and 22. He'll put Lopez in motion. He had trip receivers. Ash over middle. Wide open. And it's going to be a touchdown. Middletown, they're on the board. Richard Skies.
And we have ourselves a ball game.
Made it look pretty easy.
One of the things that Lopez does is Lopez commands a lot of attention. And if Lopez is getting started early, you're going to see McDevitt give him a lot of attention. And then what happens, you spread it out to other guys that will be open. And this is what you see, wide open. Sykes gets open, gets downfield, touchdown.
Well, there's a 4-play drive sitting up there. One penalty, that personal foul backed him up. But Scott Ash, it was a beautiful ball. And Richard Skies. The kick is up. It's good. We're tied up. We'll have more right after these messages.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
So that last drive consisted of 4 plays, 2 runs. This screen to Lopez was a beautiful call at the right time. Lopez just shows you just his ability and agility, more importantly. Then Lopez again right side. Then there was a penalty that backed him up, a personal foul. But well executed play.
Yeah, that's
resulted in the
beautiful.
touchdown.
And again, you know, you're going to have your big guys. He is, and he's one of them as well. So now this defense has to crack down here and see if they can stop McDevitt.
Very dangerous guy. Very good coverage for Middletown. Very dangerous guy with the ball. And Tanias Burnett. Or Becker, excuse me. Becker, we know he had a return of 100 yards. We saw it in his sophomore year when he was playing at that time quarterback now at Wake Forest, Tavon Bowers.
Well, I'll tell you, Becker is having a good year as well. He's averaging 17.9 yards per reception, and he has 3 touchdowns as well. So he's been a big play guy, 161 yards on the season. So when, you know, if you double up Burnett, Becker has been able to get open and be very effective in the passing game for Chase Dill.
This is second possession. Last possession was 8 plays, 73 yards, resulted in a touchdown. Dill going to give to Tinker. Tinker, the sophomore, goes left side.
And I'll tell you, Jose Lopez is going to be very active today. He's in the secondary for the defense, and he's running the ball, carrying a big load. So, again, he's playing Iron Man football, and he plays both very effectively. That's what makes him special, is that he's an athlete on both sides of the field.
Sure is. Second down and 8, the ball on the 28-yard line for McDevitt. Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by OSS Health, Giant Foods, Capital Region Insurance, and Mid-Penn Bank. We're excited this matchup. 6 minutes here, first quarter action. Chase Dill with some time, up over the top to Burnett. Burnett's going to cross the 40, and that's how they get him the ball. Trying to get him the ball out of the backfield. Sometimes he carries the ball, so he's a little bit of both.
And that's actually Becker on the play.
But I said Becker, and I apologize on that. That's Tanias Becker. Becker seems like we've called his name out for a long time right now. I mean,
well, they're purposely, you know, you can tell that they're getting the ball to him. Again, you don't want to focus so much, and Dill has to be diversified in who he chooses and what he chooses. So McDevitt is stronger when many guys are touching the ball, and you're seeing that today, getting the ball to multiple guys.
Third play of this drive. It'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 41. Dill with time now. He's going to have to roll left. He's going to be flushed with pressure. He's going to have to throw it away. And good decision.
And again, good job in the back end. That's a coverage sack or a coverage play where Dill had to get rid of it. The defensive secondary did very good. And if you can count them, you had 7, 8 guys in coverage. And that's what you're going to have to do to try to stop this explosion. Maybe allow some of the shorter stuff and then come up and make the tackle, but not let McDevitt beat you. Force them to drive the field on you.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, ball on the 41. Three receivers left, trips to the left, and double receivers to the right. Field dumps off to Becker. Becker's going to cross the 40, the 45, the 50. Oh, in the open field, he's going to make a move across the 25 to the 20. And that just shows you absolute speed. I mean, he's just big plays. Big play Becker is the best way to describe him.
And that's Middletown using, or Bishop McDevitt using Middletown's aggressiveness against them, where they throw a out pattern, swing pass right to Becker, who gets the ball and is able to turn upfield and get a big gain. You know, that's what you want. You want your big guys, speed in space. And that's exactly what McDevitt was able to do.
Nice mixed play here from McDevitt. Rays Diggs on the right side. Will pick up about 3 on the play.
Well, the one problem you're going to have if you're Middletown, and you're talking about Lopez going both ways. If Lopez is going to be forced to make a lot of tackles on the defensive side of the ball, he then has to turn around and be a workhorse on offense. He could wear it down pretty quickly. So it's important for those linebackers in that defensive line to make stops at the line of scrimmage, especially against when they're running the ball against the run.
So it'll be 2nd and 3. Call it 2 yards. Ray Donnelly, the big fullback, will get the ball ahead. And He's going to be shy. He picked up maybe, let's call it, well, got back to the line of scrimmage, it appears. Third down for McDevitt with 4:16 to play here in the first quarter.
And that was a good defense by Trayvon Joseph, number 5. We called his name a couple of times, being a force against the run. And that's what they need. They need that front 4, those linebackers, to take care of that run and try to limit those big plays coming from the running game and short passes out of the backfield.
Taveras and Joseph and Skies, Bryant, Lopez, Rodaball. Cole Sr. on the defense. 3:46 to play. And it'll be 4th down and caught a yard, Jerome.
And that's just solid defense coming up to make that play. Number 30, that's Lamar Ventura. He comes up and just sound tackle, brings up a 4th down. Big down for both teams.
Becker fighting hard for the left side. And appears that he'll have it. It's going to be a first down for McDevitt. The chains will move and keep this red zone drive alive.
And again, you're seeing some good penetration from that Middletown defense. They are getting up and getting good penetration. But again, that's just Becker putting his head down and getting every inch, because that was a hard-fought yard that he got right there.
Well, we have an injury. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more here on ABC 27.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Players from all of the state of Pennsylvania will be trying out for Team Pennsylvania Advanced Hoops Boys and Girls AAU team. Advanced Hoops is the leader in AAU basketball in South Central PA. Tryouts for spring teams are on October the 27th. For more information, go to www.advancedhoops.com. It'll be a first down and 9. Ball spotted on the 9. Chase Steele will play action, going right side. He's going to hook up, but Burnett's going to be a touchdown, Bishop McDevitt.
And what you saw on that play, it was a very good route by McDevitt. I mean, I tell you, Burnett comes out, he runs a stop and go, and it's so crisp in his route. That's a polished route against a defensive back that may not have seen something like this before. And this is just a great route. Stick his foot in, goes right outside, wide open. Chase Steele delivers the ball, touchdown.
Will deal to Burnett for 9 yards. Point after coming right up here. And Bryce Connor will be set to kick. The holder is Ben Marsico. And up, it's a fumble. And it's going to be blocked, and that could really come back to be a great play for McDevitt. To be 13-7. We'll have more after these messages.
After 20 seconds, blocked by number 22, Christopher Joseph.
I can really buy local produce at Giant?
Yep, brought it in from our backyard. Well, not my backyard, but close.
Sweet. Find out about our backyard at giantfoodstores.com/local. Giant, the official grocery store of the Philadelphia Phillies.
High School Sports Live is proud to partner with Mazzetti and Sullivan, a provider of substance use and mental health counseling services for teens and adults at 4 convenient locations across Central PA since 1983. Visit them at mazzettiandsullivan.com or call 1-800-809-2925. Mazzetti and Sullivan. We listen, we help. Well, back with action. McDevitt 13, Middletown 7. There was a blocked point after. And that last drive consisted of a little bit of Becker. This is a big 30-yard plus pickup, and that right there set up a red zone opportunity for Bishop McDevitt. 7-play drive, and there was a pushing to get the last yard or two, get the first down, but then it was set up right here, 9 yards out. Chase Steele makes the right call there to his Syracuse-bound Nazir Burnett. It was 9 plays, 74 yards, consisted of 3 minutes and 44 seconds.
And you can tell that McDevitt does not want to give Middletown's dangerous returners any opportunity on kickoff return.
So Middletown will have the ball. They had a 4-play touchdown drive set up by one run and a screen and a big play over the middle. Scott Ash hooked up with Skies on a touchdown. And Middletown will have their second possession here in the first half. Scott Ash, dump off incomplete. His intended receiver was Richard Skies.
Sykes. And Sykes, again, we're seeing Sykes in the passing game and not so much running the ball, but we know he can definitely run the ball. So Sykes, they're trying to get him out in the passing game and get him short passes that he can take the distance. So, again, Middletown's trying to diversify their offense and use their playmakers as well.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. The ball will be on the 34-yard line. Bunch receivers to the left side of Ash. Jose Lopez is that lone back to give to Lopez left side. Boy, oh boy, pursuit, but he finds a way to get out of it, trying to just find room and not to lose too much. And there's just nowhere to actually still on his feet. He's going to manage to try to get some of it back, but my goodness.
Yeah, that was a huge loss. I mean, I think what happened was McDevitt really played the outside run very well, and they shut the door. And when you start going backwards, usually nothing good can come of it. Just a good job keeping contained, and that backs Middletown up significantly on this play.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd and 29, 3rd and forever, really, for 2:49 to play here in the first quarter. Great pursuit on that defensive side. Melendez, Martin, Morgan, Christopher, Myers, Donnelly, Claire, Piper, Jordan, Marsico, and Hopkins are your defenders, and our flags down.
This might go against McDevitt. There's too many men on the field. So Middletown will get some of that back.
There are too many men on the field, and that's going to still 3rd down and 20 for Middletown. Scott Ash looking over the top, ball complete. Nice hookup to Richard Sykes. And Sykes is really the guy right now that he's looking at from the get-go. Sykes with really good hands, really athletic, and a good play.
And that'll give Middletown some room. Yeah, that'll give them some room to kick and try to play field position right here. You don't have to get desperate and go for it in this situation. You know, right now, you know, a mistake backs you up. You got some of that back. You can punt it and see if your defense can come together and slow down this McDevitt offense.
This is a dangerous team to give the ball back because right now they're in the rhythm, down the field, moving.
Well, you don't want to give it to them at the 35, at your 35, so you kick it. You know what I mean?
So Avery Williams set to punt. Nice Becker set to receive the punt. And right now we got the clock still ticking.
Right.
And it's running. It's 4th and 9. As you can hear, the Blue Raider crowd's going to make sure they remind the guys about the clock here.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get more time. The fans are really into it. And again, let's talk about this atmosphere, Todd. This place is packed. I mean, this is old school stadium. It's packed here in Middletown. It seems like the entire town has come out for this game, and the support has been amazing. So, again, the success that this team and this school has had has been amazing.
Oh, no doubt about it. And winning is contagious on both sides of the field. Both teams can talk about it. Jeff Wechter and the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders can talk about it. It's just part of that program, the Crusade program. But man, what Brett Myers has done here, and he is from Middletown, and I know that I've heard that so much in this area. It's drawing people continually behind. They've always been behind their sports teams down here in Middletown, but now it's really become even more of a special place. with this consistency. And like you said, it breeds winning.
Right, and what it does is it gives a lot of excitement for your younger programs, whether it's your Little League midget programs all the way up through your junior high programs. And many times that success happens when the head coach of the senior high program has his hands in the lower levels. So he's able to teach kids not just fundamentals about the game, but it's their style, so that by the time they become senior high students, they have all of that there. So you're seeing Middletown building this program over the years, and it's a solid place to be as far as a player and an athlete.
Avery Williams' punt's going to take a roll across the 20-yard line. Becker's going to have to get a way out of it, and it'll be down by Hopkins. So McDevitt will have their third possession. 2 possessions, 8-play drive. The first possession, 8 plays, 73 yards, resulted in a touchdown. And then 7 plays. Burnett, a 9-yard pickup touchdown from Chase Dill. This is their third possession, giving the ball back. I think Middletown is looking really hard to find that stop that they need with this team.
Yeah. And again, it's definitely going to be a tall order, but this defense has shown that they can play well. And so here, can they slow down McDevitt? They have, gave him a long field, good punt, good idea to punt the ball. Now make McDevitt run the field.
It'll be 1st and 10. The ball is spotted on the 17-yard line for Chase Dill and the Crusaders. Dill, one right side to Burnett. Burnett crossing across the field, across the 30. There's really no one out there. You won't see this. You won't touch. That's not Burnett, actually. That's a touchdown, Bishop McDevitt. And that's Tanias Becker.
Or is it Easterly?
These numbers bunch up, and I thought it was Burnett coming across. It's Becker. And take a look at it. You get the ball in his hands, and your playmakers make things happen. Archie Smith Jr., that right there was a play. We'll hold your thoughts. We'll hold your thoughts after the kick. We'll come back and just talk about getting the ball into the specialties. My goodness. It's true what they say about Burnett. The speed will kill you. So we have. Go ahead, Arch. Let's just go down to Archie Smith Jr. and just, Archie, you want your special players to have the ball in their hands, and they're doing that. McDevitt finds a way, and Burnett just shows you, boy, you got the afterburners.
Guys, we just came with a full-out tunnel screen, and Jerome, I know you're up there looking at the amazement and the consistency of that play right there. It takes a lot. You have all your linemen pulling out, and the receiver is coming back under. He makes 2 moves, and then it's the speed. It's a reason this guy has 200 all-purpose yards in the last 2 games, and he might be on his way back to that same record again, guys. I think we might need to look it up and see is that a type of record or something.
Yeah, all-purpose yards, and that's Tanias Becker. I mean, we know what he can do.
I mean, you saw him. I mean, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just pure speed. And again, those tunnel screens are hard to defend.
The 2-point conversion attempt will be no good. There's a penalty against Middletown. Bishop McDevitt decided the 2-point conversion will not be converted. We'll come right back. Mr. McDevitt 19, Middletown 7. Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction. Man, this is three opportunities with the ball. And tonight we've had this loss right here by Lopez is going to set up good field position on a punt from Middletown to Bishop McDevitt. Becker right here. One move, across the middle, and as you said, Jerome, you said it very well, shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, and that's what you want. And again, you see what Middletown or what Bishop McDevitt is doing. They want to get the ball out of Chase Dill's hands very quickly, and they want to get it out of his hands in different ways. So you've seen swing passes, you've seen tunnel screens, you've seen long bomb plays, you've seen a lot of different looks to get the ball out. Chase Steele has not taken a lot of time to get the ball out. I mean, with the exception of that sack, I mean, you're talking about less than 2 seconds, and that ball is coming out, getting right into the guys, his playmakers' hands, and giving them a lot of time to do what they need to do, and they're doing.
Boy, the 83 yards. Nice. Becker made that one look pretty easy. Sykes is going to take it across the 30, just short of the 35, and Middletown will have the ball. The first possession was a 4-play drive out of Middletown and resulted in a touchdown. They punted the last drive after a big loss by Lopez. This will be their third possession here of the first half. It'll be 1st and 20 for for Middletown.
And again, Middletown does not have to panic right now. They're down 19-7. There's a lot of time. You just have to get some consistency on offense, and if you can see if you can score. Your offense has done well. You had one mistake that backed you up and kind of changed the course of things on the last drive. Let's see if they can correct that.
Scott Ash. Pitch it to Lopez. Lopez has nowhere to go. And man, I tell you what, this defense is hard to, I tell you what, it's hard to run this quick pitches left or right because you cannot flank this defense because Tate Myers comes up and makes big plays. So take a look at Tate Myers right here.
Well, this was a very slow developing pitch situation. So that was a little different than what we saw on the first drive because in that situation, they did get outside on Bishop McDevitt. And this time, it was just slow development.
Look at Tanias Becker's numbers. He 5 catches, 162, and a touchdown. And then when you're Middletown team, you realize you know who's going to get the ball. Now on this other side, you've got to give this defense, McDevitt's defense, a lot of credit with Melendez and Martz, Morgan, Carter Christopher. These are good-sized guys. In particular, we've called Dre Donnelly and guys like that over the last couple of years. Ben Marsico. This is a defense that's a veteran-led defense, Jerome. And in the linebacker core, they're very strong.
And I think what you saw was an adjustment. They've made some adjustments as well.
Okay, that is the end of the first quarter. Your score becoming 19, Middletown 7.
Well, it's 19-7. Bishop McDevitt, they've had the ball 3 times and scored all 3. Middletown will have the ball.
And again, Middletown's first, when they get the ball, their first down can't be 10 yards back. And that's both drives started as a result of that. One was a mistake, and one was just a very slow developing pitch that McDevitt was able to corral very quickly.
Let's go down to Grace Grill on the field. Grace?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Tim Neville, and you are a chair on the Middletown Mini-Thon. Tonight is the Mini-Thon game here, so tell me a little bit what that means.
So tonight we have T-shirt sales going to all of the students that they can buy T-shirts. The profits all benefit our Mini-Thon, and then we also are selling Farm Show milkshakes.
Oh, guys, you know how I feel about Farm Show milkshakes. Anyway, but your goal is to raise money for the kids, right, for Thon. So what's your goal this year?
So our goal this year is to raise $35,000. Across the entire country, Mini-Thons raise over $7 million to go to the Four Diamonds Funds, which benefits all pediatric cancer patients at the Milton S. Hershey Medical Center. And then it also pays for specialty care providers as well as research to go to childhood cancer prevention.
We hope you reach your goal, and thanks for all the good work you guys are doing here. Thanks, Tim. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Thank you, Grace. And I tell you what, these kids across the mid-state and also in college put on these mini-thons. Drone, on behalf of everybody that's part of this, and year after year we see these kids in hard work. First of all, I got to give that young man, he's an absolute great spokesman. He might want to keep climbing the ladder.
Definitely.
But we know and hope and pray that there will be a day that they'll end the cancer and, more importantly, childhood cancer. Great night tonight. They're selling T-shirts. They brought up 2 milkshakes for us, and you know how we love our concession stand. So we Jerome, you took about 35 seconds and you had your milkshake done. So you talk about me sometimes, sir.
Good one.
Scott Ash over the middle will be incomplete. Boy, they didn't waste any time.
Pass intended for number 30.
And I have to say, Todd, I like the idea. I mean, you have to take your shots and see if you can get downfield. But at this point, what do you start to do? This game is getting away from you. Do you try to go for it on 4th down and see what you can do, or do you punt it away? And because right now, McDevitt is scoring. They're scoring so quickly that it's just difficult to keep up at this point. So right now it brings up a 4th down, and it looks like Middletown will punt the ball.
You look at the total yards, McDevitt 225, Middletown 75. It shows Middletown needs a sustained drive to get there, to keep that offense out there, because their defense has been on the field a lot today.
And most of the yardage was on that first drive. I mean, the last 2 drives have not yielded much at all. So that first drive, there was a lot of promise there. There was a lot of excitement. And since then, Middletown has been going backwards.
Burnett set back to receive the punt. Avery Williams is in to punt for Middletown. Dangerous guy to get the ball to. They're going to punt it away from him. That's a smart decision. Try it. It's going to be high. Oh, it's going to hit a Middletown player. And it's going to bounce across the 34-yard line. It'll be down there. McDevitt will have the ball on their 4th possession. 3 possessions, 3 scores. Last one, 1 play, 83 yards. Tanias Becker. 225 total yards, 75 yards here. 19-7. Highly anticipated matchup tonight. Middletown is by no means out of this one.
No, absolutely not.
But defense-wise, they need to stop.
Yeah, defense-wise, it's been hard to get a stop. You know, they haven't stopped Bishop McDevitt at all, and hasn't even come close. I mean, the first defensive drive, there were a couple of downs where they were able to corral, and they got a sack. But then after that, it's just been the floodgates have been open for Bishop McDevitt on big plays, and we know they live on big plays. And once they get you down, it's very hard to come back because of their ability to big play.
When you think about Tanias Becker, all-purpose yards over 200. Last year he caught 55 passes for 868 yards. I tell you, it's no surprise when Old Dominion, he'll be joining a former teammate there, JoJo Heaton. Becker still on his feet. And you know he doesn't go down easy. He's crossing the 45-yard line, still on his feet, pushing the 50-yard line, taking a whole pack of guys with him. Boy, oh boy, is that determination right there.
Yeah, man, Becker just keep going. And you got those big horses. That is a very, very good size offensive line for high school. So, again, this Middletown team, that front is getting overwhelmed right now. And Becker's able to pick and choose where he goes and then keep his feet moving.
So a host of Middletown Raiders had to pull him down. So it'll be 2nd down, 1 to go here. Move the chains from McDevitt. Ball on the 48-yard line, 10:59 to play here in the half. Rays Diggs across the 50-yard line.
And Cole Sr. on the defensive play, and that's a good play for him, but a 1st down right now for Bishop McDevitt. So they're keeping the chains moving.
Cole Sr. did an absolutely great job of fighting off the block. I mean, that was a great defensive play when you see it. I mean, he was just tenacious, relentless, fought off 2 blockers actually still to make the tackle. That's where, if you're watching at home, that's where you talk about you play till you hear the whistle. Archie Smith Jr., how many times you heard it? 62 play to the whistle. He had 2 guys blocking. He fought them off still to make that tackle.
And that's what you want to look for. Oh.
Up over the top, wide open is Burnett across the 20-yard line. And he'll fall down. If he didn't stumble, he's probably going to the green.
And again, getting number 22, Christopher Joseph. And I'm not sure if he's biting on a fake or what's happening, but that's the 2nd time that you know, Burnett's able to get behind him on that play. And it's just a quick, Chase is able to fade back and just deliver the ball, and he's behind.
How about the growth of Chase Dill? That's another, I mean, quarterbacks have been really an important element in this McDevitt offense through years. You know, Tavon Bowers and now Chase Dill, and guys just stepping up, the next guy up. Chase Dill's really grown into this role.
Well, we know Chase Dill came along when Tavon Bowers got hurt 2 years ago his sophomore year. And that year, McDevitt wasn't the team that I think many thought they were. They ended the season not too bad, but they just didn't have that firepower. And again, when you have a quarterback situation change like that, it makes it difficult. But since that time, we have seen Chase Dill grow each year. And now he has become a polished passer for this team and a huge weapon for McDevitt as a quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he gets the ball to his playmakers very easily and very quickly.
So it'll be 2nd down, 10, shotgun. Dill being pressured. He's going to dump off, and ooh, dangerous. Dump off was incomplete to Becker.
And that again, you just saw a little bit of Chase Dill's maturity and his development. I mean, he steps up into the pocket, just teardrops the ball over, and Becker's not able to pick the ball out of the air, but that was a very smart play on his part.
So it'll be 3rd and 10. Coming up at halftime, we have our Jack Giambavo halftime report, our Highmark halftime stats, and our OSS Health interview with Dr. Bixler. So it'll be trips receivers on the right side, Twins on the left side. Dill by himself in the backfield. Go up onto the top. It'll be incomplete, almost picked off.
And that was very, very good defense from Christopher Joseph. I mean, he has a big, tall order. His job today is going to be Burnett. That's his job, and in that case, he did very good. So, kid, pick your head up. Good defensive play on your end.
Well, Christopher Joseph's only a junior, so he'll have another year. He's long arm. You're right. Quite the matchups tonight. I mean, you're covering two Division I athletes,
and mainly he's covering the Division I athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tall order, but you rise to the occasion, and this is going to make him a better player as well. And who knows, maybe he's going to be a Division I athlete next year.
Dill, the incomplete. Burnett on a rare drop.
Pass is to number 9. Burnett, ball is incomplete.
And you don't see Burnett dropping balls like that. But again, that's one of those situations where Middletown held defensively. Some drop balls helped, but they held, and now it's time for them to do something offensively. They've gone backwards all 3 of the last drives. It's time to put something together and get back to that mentality of the first drive.
So it'll be a takeover on downs. It'll be 1st down and 10 on the 21-yard line, 9:43 to play. Stay tuned again for our Jack Giambavo halftime report and our Highmark halftime stats and our OSS Health interview coming up here at halftime. Ash putting Sykes in motion to give to Lopez. Lopez left side, avoiding a few tacklers.
And again, right now, that's positive yards, brings up the 2nd and 8. So the down and distance, you get a good positive yards here on 3rd down. It gives you a manageable down and distance 3rd down. So, Middletown has to go forward. So good idea getting back to the basics to try to get a good drive going.
Well, Devin Clare came up to make that tackle from the linebacker spot. Good tackle by Clare. Clare, another great player on that McDevitt side. They've got a nice defense with some specialty players. Middletown. Give to Lopez. Lopez cutting back. And he'll be drugged down by Easterly.
And again, good positive play. Brings up a 3rd and a manageable 3. Get it to Lopez outside. He's able to cut the corner. And again, you're in a good situation. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. That's manageable. You can get that. It makes it better than 3rd and 29.
And we have going to let a shoelace, and that's good to see, and not someone hurt. So that Cole Senior's going to have to tie his shoe there. He's playing. So it'll be 3rd and 3 for Middletown. Big play. To give to Sykes. Sykes is going to move the chains, and that's positive yardage for Middletown.
And I tell you, look at how that hole is opened up, and then it closes very quickly, but enough for Sykes to get upfield and get north and south. Positive gain for Middletown. They need this drive to turn up points.
He's brought down at the 32-yard line, where it is a 1st down Raiders.
The ball will be spotted on the 32-yard line for Middletown, trying to find a way to get some positive yards here and get this possession moving and keep their defense off the field. Scott Ash give to Sykes. Sykes right side, nothing there. And he'll be taken down for a loss.
And Ahmad Blackstone really set the edge on the outside from the defensive end position. Just good job of turning everything inside. And again, Middletown takes 2 steps back.
Blackstone is a junior, 175. Come up, make a great tackle there. It'll be twin receivers right, twin left. Ash calling the play at the line, as you see. .736 to play here in the half. We'll put Sykes in motion. He's got a screen set up. And, boy, they read that one like a book.
And that was number 44. Devin Clare comes up and makes the play, just sheds off the block. He's a 6'1", 230-pound linebacker from the outside. Screen was well set up initially, but he shut the door.
Lamar Ventura on the screen to catch. Ash again calling the play at the line, very active here. It'll be 3rd down and 10, ball in the 32 for Middletown. Ash looking over the middle. Pass threw a little high, and I don't know. That's a hit on a defenseless receiver. That's going to be a personal foul call against McDevitt.
Yeah,
it's really one of those no-need hits. Let's go down to Archie Smith down on the field. Arch.
Well, guys, as we both know, and we're seeing it from the NFL, it's trickling down to college right now. They're trying to take those hits out of the game. Now, to me and Jerome, I don't think it really deserved, but in the game now, you're going to get flagged for that. And, number 5, he is a true freshman, so he's just a play that he's going to have to learn on, guys. Good coachable moment for that kid. I'm glad that nobody got hurt, so just a learning moment right now.
Well, here's the problem, Archie. That play was way dead. The ball was well beyond him. It was already done, and then 2 guys just hit him like that. So I think that's where it's coming from, and I wouldn't be surprised if they even looked significantly at him to see if he's okay, because he came off knocking his head. And seeing it on the replay, it wasn't a bang-bang. The ball was well beyond him at that point.
Released high. It was thrown high. Now, actually, Sykes was wide open. The ball was just delivered high. And, you see Scott Ashwood time. He just threw that ball.
Well, he's trying to get it over the linebackers to drop it. And sometimes you overemphasize that height. And there, it's more of a play that just needed to just get there on a rope.
Ventura on the left side, and there's flags down again.
Another thing, guys, I don't know if you guys are able to see it, but the rain is starting to come down. Down here on this field, guys, and guys are wiping their hands off their gloves. Some guys are taking their gloves off right now, so the rain is on its way, guys, and here we go.
That penalty is going to go against Middletown. So it'll be first and 15 from the 41. 6:52 to play here. Again, coming up at halftime is our Jack Jimbalvo halftime report, our Highmark halftime stats, and we'll have an OSS health interview. This is all coming up at halftime. 1st and 15, ball on the 41-yard line, the War Memorial Field. Give to Lopez. Lopez left side, cross the 40. Cross the 45, and he'll be knocked out of bounds.
Number 25, Jose Lopez with the carry.
And as you can see, Middletown is doing a good job of trying to give him some rest offensively and then get him back in the game, because he does go both ways. And now brings up 2nd down and 9. So, again, trying to get those yards back from the penalty.
It'll be 2nd 9, as Jerome said, on the 47. Second quarter action here, 6:23 to play. Middletown in front of a big crowd here on a Friday night, a big one. Ash encouraging movement. Lopez bouncing around, staying on his feet, found a way across the 50-yard line. This kid is something. Across the 40-yard line. He looked like he was dead nailed in the backfield and absolutely found a way to meander out of that. And now that right there is a play where you watch and go, take a look at it again. Now, Jerome, for all intents and purposes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 misses.
Well, I think what he did was eventually he reset and then got north-south very quickly, and that's what he needed to do. And again, one of the things that I can see from Lopez is from last year, his 1,700-yard season till now, he's gotten stronger. He's definitely a stronger back, and he's fast. He's very powerful when he runs. So arm tackles is not going to bring him down. Right. And, in that play, he was able to avoid and then get upfield. That's the key. You got to get north-south as quickly as possible. He saw the opening, and then he fired through it.
So 6:01 to play, 19-7 here. Bishop McDevitt, Middletown. And you see this is the intensity on, not to mention rain coming down here. This is a beautiful natural grass field here at War Memorial. They've done a lot of work on War Memorial. Beautiful field. It's always been one of my favorite places to come to watch a football game. It just takes you back.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and it's it's one of those that you don't give it up. It has a prestige to it, and they've shown that over the course of the past 2 seasons that they've been really, really good.
Boy, and I tell you what, that rain's coming at good time. The humidity tonight is unbelievable. Tropical proportions. First and 10, ball in the 39. Ventura in motion. Sykes is the single back behind Ash. Give to Sykes. Sykes across the 40. Looking for a block.
Number 2, Richard Sykes with a carry.
Justin Piper will come up and make the tackle for McDevitt, along with Julian Jordan on the assist. 5:43 to play here at half.
And again, that's what you want. You want your second guy to come in Sykes and get upfield and get good positive yardage. Again, this has been a good drive for Middletown. Taking a lot of time, but it's been a good drive to settle them down and give those defensive players a rest.
84% humidity now. Temperature's 78. It feels a lot warmer than that. Pass is incomplete, and man, Lopez was losing his footing, but if he stays on his feet, I mean, you know, a guy like that with no one close to him on the sideline.
Well, he was wide open, and I think the ball was underthrown, so he had to kind of come back for it. So again, it's, you know, missed opportunities for Middletown, especially in the passing game, where they're not able to capitalize with really good opportunities. Lopez, if that ball was up high, he could have gotten the end zone.
It'll be 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5. Ball is on the 34. So Hopkins was in motion. Lopez is the give, left side.
Number 25, Jose Lopez with a carry.
And again, they're relying on that offensive line to try to move some of these big McDevitt defenders. It's a tall order, and they, you know, this drive they've been doing okay, but it gives them a 4th down and manageable 2.
Be 3rd and 5 again to Lopez. Lopez pushing across the 30-yard line. That was 4th and 2. Excuse me. I had a 3rd down. Looked at the board, and it's actually 4th down. And McDevitt will take over on downs.
And again, it did seem like Middletown was a little conservative on that play to go to Lopez, who had 3 different plays go to him. So he's a little winded, and they still went to him again, and he wasn't able to really get anywhere. So drive ends right there on the 30.
Well, they put a pretty nice drive together. It'll stall. It'll stall from Middletown's, or excuse me, McDevitt's 30-yard line. McDevitt will have a 1st down. Ball on the 30 with 4:54 to play. That's plenty of time for this fast-striking offense. Deal. Burnett was incomplete.
And just some of the scores that we have in the area. The Cocoa Bean Bowl right down the road in Milton Hershey School, they're up 12-7 on Hershey, so that's a big one. Right now, DeLone Catholic is up on Stilton, still high, 13-6. Susquehanna Township is down by 1 to Huntington, 14-13. Southwestern is getting, shellacked right now by Carlisle, 35-0. And Cumberland Valley, as we know, went to Coatesville. They're down 28-7 at the half.
2nd and 10. Deal in the middle of the field finds Burnett, and it's complete for a big 1st down. But Deal took quite the hit, getting up a little bit slowly, coming up gingerly on that left ankle. But boy, did he get drilled. Look, he stayed in this pocket, Jerome. And you take a look at this. He knew he was going to get hit. He released it. He slipped in the wet field, and somehow Burnett comes up with the catch.
And that just showed his arm strength, ability to hang in there, take a hit, and then get it downfield. And again, Burnett, if you put it up, he's going to get it. I mean, they have him listed at 6'2". But he plays so much higher than that. Exceptional athlete, and Syracuse is getting the gem.
The twin receivers, the far left, a single receiver in your screen. Give to C.J. Ray's Diggs. Over the right side, he'll be short of the 35, so 37-yard line. McDevitt taking their time here in the half.
And you get Sykes on the outside, makes the tackle. So again, these guys are doing double duty along with number 12, Avery Williams.
Avery Williams is doing a little bit of everything too. He's punting and kicking. And So it'll be 2nd and 5 on the 37-yard line. Rays Diggs left side. Avoids one tackler. Well, he was actually looked like it would be a big loss, and he found a way to get out of that.
And again, when you have those physical games, what tends to happen, and if you get pounded and pounded, those tackles aren't as sure, and that's where you got to go back to that technique and really rely on that when you're tackling, even when you're tired. And some of these Middletown guys, you see them, they're starting to hunch over and lean over, and they're going both ways, many of them. And again, this is not an offense where you want to wear it down, but sometimes when you have smaller schools like this, that's what you have.
Josephs, and you see Cole Sr., 62, they kind of were down. You can tell they looked a little tired there. Under the center's Chase Deal. Play action. Looking down the field. Staying in the pocket. He'll have his receiver. And that is Burnett for his 2nd touchdown hookup. A 31-yard hookup. And that's his 2nd of the night. Deal to Burnett. No flags. And McDevitt on the board again here before half.
And Burnett just does what he does. He gets open, and I'm talking about wide open. So it's hard to know from that angle what exactly happened in the secondary. Why was the coverage blown? But, out of all people on the field, he's not the one that you want to see streaking down the sideline and be basically wide open like that from the middle of the field.
Well, the kick is up and good, but we'll be right back. That's Bryce Connor putting up through the uprights. We'll be back 25-7 after these messages.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Let's go down to the field to Alabama Slim Archie Smith Jr. Archie, you've got a great perspective on the field, and you're talking about the receiving core from McDevitt, and you're just talking about the routes being ran. That last drive, as we look at it, Burnett's ability to run routes is what it is.
Guys, these guys are running high-level Division I college routes, and you can see the difference in it. But it's not just the routes, guys. It's the line that's giving him time and the precision in these play calls. If you look at McDevitt, they have so many different formations, man, that sets all these different things up, man. It's a great thing to see, but Middletown are going at halftime and trying to make some adjustments.
That was 5 plays, 70-yard drive, and it took about 1:47 seconds. This fast-striking McDevitt team, they've scored 4 of the last 5 possessions. Middletown will have the ball back with some time. They'll have 3 minutes here right before half. Coming up at half is our Jack Giambalvo halftime report, our Highmark halftime report, halftime stats, and an OSS Health interview. Coming up, all this at halftime in 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
And again, can Middletown sustain anything offensively? The first drive was such a promising touchdown drive for them, and since then the offense has been bogged down pretty much the rest of the game, with the exception of the last drive where they were able to at least methodically get downfield. But again, when you have a quick strike team like this, it's very difficult for you to sustain and do what you want to do when you have a team that's this quick.
Yeah, it is. No doubt about it. We have a down player. That Sykes is down. We'll be right back after these messages.
I am anything I want to be.
I am one of the faces of Commonwealth Charter Academy.
I go to school online, tuition free.
I learn best at my own pace.
My own pace.
I see school differently. I learn from anywhere.
From anywhere. I'm an artist.
I'm a musician.
I am an athlete. I am anything I want to be.
And I won't stop learning.
I am CCA.
Join me today at ccaeducate.me.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Well, it's 26-7. McDevitt has scored on 4 of 5 possessions. Middletown put a beautiful drive together in their first drive and resulted in a touchdown, but now struggling to find consistency here offensively. First down and 10 with 3:02 to play, the ball on the 30-yard line. And Middletown's going to have to call a timeout. Brett Myers is kind of frustrated with his offense. We'll take a break. We'll be right back here on ABC 27 after these messages.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
There's a good look at some of those mini-thon shirts. They've got a nice mini-thon situation going on here. You can raise them. They're raising money to you can buy these shirts and also Farm Show milkshakes.
Oh, they're great.
We want to support these youngsters. So it'll be 3:02 here. Hack, quick pitch, left side, Lopez. Lopez crossing the 30-yard line.
And again, you're not seeing as much daylight from Lopez on the outside as he had in that first drive. And again, you see the penetration from Bishop McDevitt. They're turning the outside linebackers and defensive ends are turning the running back inside, and Lopez goes right into where the linebackers are on the inside. So good job defensively for Bishop McDevitt.
Devin Clare come up and made another great play. We've called his name today. He is really playing on that outside spot. It's a nice linebacking core, and Donnelly and Clare. These guys are veterans. Justin Piper also playing the other outside. Positive yards for McDevitt, or for Middletown, excuse me.
Pass is complete to number 3. Tyler Petrosky.
Chase Steele being 10 for 16 for 298, 4 TDs.
It'll be 3rd and 1.
And Petrosky makes the play on that last play to get Middletown in striking distance of a 3rd and 1.
Scott Ash. 3rd down and 1, 1:46 to play. Middletown trying to get something positive in this drive here right before half. Give to Lopez right side. Crossing the 40-yard line, 45 down to the 50. And a flag comes late on the backside. And that's going to be I think that's going to go against Middletown. Cole Sr. came over to check it out, see what it is. And I believe is that a personal foul that's going against Middletown? If it is, yeah, it is. You can see just the body language there.
And that's just a hard penalty for Middletown. I mean, you get Lopez on an outside. He gets positive gain, gets a first down and more. And this is going to come back from a bad penalty on Middletown's side.
Penalty is on Middletown.
So again, you know, Bishop McDevitt doesn't need any help. They definitely don't need any help here.
Ball's moved back to the 37-yard line. It'll remain 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 1. The ball will be on the 37. 3rd down and 3. Make it 3rd down and 3. Ash getting the play, calling it in from the sideline. Ash going over the top. It'll be incomplete. Intended receiver was Lopez across the 50-yard line.
And that was just well defended from the very beginning by Justin Piper. I mean, he was step for step for Lopez, and it was actually a telegraph play. It was very, you know, there was no other option off of this. It was pretty much Ash goes to him or nowhere else.
It'll be 4th and 3.
I mean, I understand the play call. A wheel route there for Lopez. You want the ball in Lopez's hands. He's proven that he's a guy that's got to get a lot of touches in this game, especially one of these games with this type of magnitude, big matchup like it is. 4th and 3. They're going to have to punt. And, man, McDevitt's going to get the ball back with a minute to go, and this team strikes fast. Burnett back to receive the punt. And there's going to be another timeout by Middletown. We'll take a break here on ABC 27. We'll be right back with more Bishop McDevitt Middletown. After
the road with Jack.
Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
So it'll be 4th and 3. Avery's in the punt for Middletown. Back to receive is Burnett. Again, 1:10 to play, 26-7. I don't know, Drum. I mean, McDevitt's having their way offensively here.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a Middletown fan, you hate to see them giving the ball back.
And again, it's been hard sledding for this Middletown defense. I mean, they've really had a rough start, and those big plays for Bishop McDevitt.
It's going to actually pick it up across the 20-yard lines. And I didn't know if he's going to pick it up or if he's going to let it roll, but decent coverage, good coverage from Middletown there. And McDevitt will have the ball across the 25-yard line. With 56 seconds to go, they'll probably come in, and I don't know. I mean, they can be conservative or they can maybe take a shot at a couple, take a look at. I mean, they got the receivers to do it. I'm anxious to see what the play calls will be here.
It'll be first down McDevitt.
Crowd still just solidly thick when you look around all along.
Right. I mean,
the end zone.
It's an amazing thing to see. You know, this Middletown field, they packed this place, and I still believe that, you know, regardless of what happens today, this team is built to have success again this year. And again, you know, they circled this as a game that they really wanted on their schedule to play against Bishop McDevitt in the season. So, you know, it gives you a nice measuring stick.
Bill pressured out, and he'll be hit. Making a nice play. Number 22 coming up for that's Christopher Joseph for Middletown. Nazir Burnett, when you look at receivers, I mean, 5 catches, 136 yards, and 3 TDs. That's big numbers.
That's 8 touchdowns on the season in 3 games, or 2.5 games, actually.
Those are serious numbers in his senior year. He has played. He's another one of those guys who's just absolutely played forever.
Yes, I mean, he's been there for a while. We've seen him when he was a young player, and we knew what he was capable of. And the key was going to be, can Dill develop to get him the ball? And as we can see, he's not just developed; he's become a special quarterback in his own right.
Just a concerned look there on the Middletown side. Brett Myers has done an absolutely great job. Jeff Rector on the other side. There's been consistency at McDevitt, and consistency has begun here at Middletown as well under Myers. Trying to find the answer here defensively are the Blue Raiders. Deal over the top. Wide open. Down the sideline, across the 30, the 20, and that's what they do. They strike fast. It's a touchdown. Bishop McDevitt, that's Julian Jordan. And just when, you talk Burnett, you talk Becker, and that's Julian Jordan, the junior, down the sideline. He's 6'2", 185 pounds. And take a look at this again. Dill knew where he was, said, I'm going to let wide open, crossing the 50, and he makes a move on Lopez, and it's in the end zone for Bishop McDevitt.
And it looked like someone was trying to get a jam on the line of scrimmage, and it wasn't effective. And when you're playing a cover 2 look, and if you're a corner and you don't get hands on the receiver, it leaves the safety in no man's land, and that's exactly what happened. And you see, Joseph Julian able to get upfield and then get a touchdown, and he will be the next big thing for McDevitt when it comes to receivers.
33-7. We'll be back with more after these messages.
I can really buy local produce at Giant?
Brought it in from our backyard. Well, not my backyard, but close.
Sweet. Find out about our backyard at giantfoodstores.com/local. Giant, the official grocery store of the Philadelphia Phillies.
It's been nothing but impressive. This last drive of McDevitt. Dill rolling to his left side. There he'll be taken down. And it looked like, I thought, well, maybe this drive will stall. There's only 40 seconds to go, and then this right here.
Just big play.
Pitch and catch. Down the sideline is Jordan. Makes a move on Lopez. And, man, they've got everything going. They've done everything right.
Back to Middletown, number 25, Jose Lopez.
Kind of knew something when we knew McDevitt went and put a pretty good beating on Cumberland Valley in week 0. And we said, we know they're good. That was 2 plays, 73 drives, and it only consisted of 24 seconds before they struck.
The problem with Cumberland Valley is they, as of right now, they look like they're going to be on 3.
I don't know the last time we even talked about it Cumberland Valley.
So right now they're not having a great year. But again, Middletown is right now has been pretty overwhelmed today by this Bishop McDevitt team. And again, you have to start finding ways to build on something. You're down 33-7, and everything is going right for McDevitt. And like we knew, McDevitt has the ability to score so quickly. And when they get up on you, it causes you to abandon what you do to try to at least catch up, and it makes it almost impossible. So it just makes it worse. So again, if you're Middletown, you do things like this: get it to your guy and see if you can slow this down a little bit, but at the same time get good yardage. Because right now, Lopez is having a pretty good game,
right,
in his own right. It's just that he's going against an entire team of just dynamic athletes.
Donlin and Piper will bring Lopez down. It'll be 1st and 10, moving the chains from Middletown. The ball will be on the 47. Give to Lopez right side, crossing the 50. Shoestring tackled.
Number 25,
and that was Dre Donlin came up to make the tackle. Donlin, Claire, and Piper have been active, very active, as has Julian Jordan.
It looks like Middletown will be content with just going in the locker room down 33-7 at the half.
Well, McDevitt 33, Middletown 7. We'll have our Jack Giambalvo halftime report, our Highmark halftime stats, all coming up here at halftime. Don't go anywhere. Bishop McDevitt 33, Middletown 7. More after these messages.
I can really buy local produce at Giant?
Yep, brought it in from our backyard. Well, not my backyard, but close.
Sweet. Find out about our backyard at giantfoodstores.com/local. Giant, the official grocery store of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Well, welcome back, 33-7. Let's go down to Grace Grill, who's standing by with Brett Myers. Grace?
Coach, this is a tough Bishop McDevitt team. What is the message to your guys at the half?
We just got to keep competing. It's no different than the message before the game is they get an opportunity to play, and they need to go out and play hard and play the way we expect them to play.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, we'll be right back with more after this message coming up. Our Highmark halftime report and stats, or Jack Giambalvo halftime stats reports after this message.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Welcome back to our Jack Jim Bavo halftime report. Bishop McDevitt 33-7. And we had a lot of fireworks, but mostly from the McDevitt side. I mean, Burnett, Becker have been the names, but it's been the arm of Chase Dill as well, hitting the receivers in stride. And McDevitt up 33-7. I mean, they're scoring really 4 out of 5 possessions, right. 5 out of 6, excuse me. And, I mean, that's been the difference. At one point, total yards was 259 to 75. So, you know, Middletown came out with a great drive in the first quarter, tied it up 7-7, and it was like everything we anticipated from this team.
Right, and they did. I think it was a good answering drive. It was a good counterpunch drive, but the problem was the following drive, they went backwards, and they never seemed to get their traction back. It kind of took the steam right out of them, and then from there, every consecutive drive after that has been problematic and difficult. So I think Middletown at this point, you can't look at the score. You have to focus on settling down and try to build on some positives. Try to get some first downs, try to sustain some drives, and then try to get in the end zone.
Right. Getting in the end zone has been exactly what this first half highlights look like, and it comes in from the other side. When you look at McDevitt, Chase Dill right here, going over the top to Burnett early. Burnett really kind of just scooted in the end zone from 31 away. And then Scott Ash came right back, hooked up with Sykes over the middle for a touchdown. That tied it at 7, had the Middletown crowd really involved, but Chase Dill said, wait a minute, we'll go back to Burnett on the other side for his second touchdown, 19 yards out. And then this one was an 82-yard play by Tanias Becker from Dill. And Becker made one move, came across, untouched in the middle, and he put the afterburners, as you said, Jerome, shot out of a cannon. Not done yet. Dill over the top. Drops it to Burnett, waiting in the end zone for the touchdown. And an absolute beautiful, beautiful play. And then Jordan says, let me have an opportunity. And you mentioned it, Jerome, earlier in the first half that distribution to many of the receivers is what Chase Dill has to do to be effective, and that's exactly what he did. So he went to more receivers, not just Burnett, not just Becker. Drops off to Jordan. Jordan shows you a little bit of talent.
And I'll tell you, what has impressed me about Chase Dill is his accuracy. I mean, this guy is putting the ball on point, whether he's standing in the pocket, whether he's falling, slipping on the grass, or he's rolling out. The ball is going right where he needs it to go. And I'm talking about deep passes, short passes, mid-range passes. He's completing everything he throws. So we've talked about the maturation of this kid, seeing him year after year after year, and now seeing this finished product. He's a special kid. I mean, we're going to see this kid playing on Saturday as a quarterback, lighting it up right here with these playmakers.
And Archie, I just want to go on the other side for a moment because if we can talk about defense, Middletown needs to find a way, and I really don't know what the answer, but the single coverage answer has not worked. Safeties have come up and make a lot of tackles. They've thrown the ball in double coverage at times, and the receivers still find a way out of it. What do you do if you're defensive coordinator right now for the Middletown Blue Raiders?
Well, what I want to do, I just want to come in. I want to settle my guys down. Now we've been going against this McDevitt offense all half. Now we know what we're going to see. It's not going to stop, guys. Right. They're going to come right back out and keep doing the same thing. So now, as a coach, I'm telling my guys, make sure that I'm watching my man. It looked like you guys said they're in a bunch of a man coverage, so we have to keep your eyes glued to your man instead of taking that peek in the backfield. And as DBs, we know once you take a peek in that backfield, you're burnt for 6.
And, Archie makes up one of the best points, and that did happen several times. The play action's been very effective. And their run mix has been great, but it's not been one of those where I would feel as a D-back that it's drawing me enough because the speedy demons on the outsides. But it is drawing them every time, and I think that's a lack of maturity versus veteran. On the other side of the defensive side in McDevitt, they've got a linebackering core that are all going to play on Saturdays.
Well, again, I think defensively for McDevitt, in some ways, Middletown has made it easy for them with some of the play calling and going backwards. And now they're able to peer their ears back and just go for it. And I think right now you're up so big, you know that Middletown may try to do some desperation things to get yardage. But my thought for Middletown, don't do that.
Get back to what you do. Don't worry about the score. And if you do what you do, you're going to have positives. Does it mean you're going to win the game? Maybe not. But what it does mean is you'll be able to keep this game short, and you'll be able to put on something that you can build on for next week. You can't sit here. This score can end up being a 70-7 game if you continue to try to match Bishop McDevitt right now, because they're scoring at will.
One big takeaway going into the second half for you, your analysis, either side, McDevitt, Middletown, your Archie Smith takeaway.
If I'm Middletown right now, I'm just going to play coverage, and I'm going to make McDevitt run the ball. I'm telling my defense right now, we're going to stop the pass, and we're going to make them one-dimensional and just make them run the ball. And then when they make them run the ball, because we have the athletes up front, and we have Lopez in the back lurking, but guess what? He's not being able to roam the field because Dial is hitting left, he's hitting right, he's hitting down the middle. So as Middletown right now, I just want to settle my guys down. We're going to play coverage, and we're going to make Bishop McDevitt beat us on the ground.
Well, we're going to come right back. You heard it from Archie Smith Jr. and Jerome Presley. I'm Todd McCall. We'll be right back at halftime with more of our stats and our high mark halftime stats on our Jack Giambavo halftime report after these messages.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
I am anything I want to be.
I am one of the faces of Commonwealth Charter Academy.
I go to school online, tuition free.
I learn best at my own pace.
My own pace.
I see school differently. I learn from anywhere.
From anywhere. I'm an artist.
I'm a musician.
I am an athlete. I am anything I want to be.
And I won't stop learning.
I am CCA.
Join me today at ccaeducate.me.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Hit the road with Jack. Hit the road with the Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambavo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambavo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
Well, welcome back to our Jack Giambavo halftime report here at War Memorial Stadium. We're going to go down to Grace Grill, who has Dr. Bixler of OSS Health. Grace?
Hey everyone, I'm here with Dr. Bixler today, and today we are talking about athletes and how recovery is so important to an athlete to finishing out a whole season. Talk a little bit about recovery.
So in this area, we know we have great coaches who do the practices, game preparation. The personal training industry is also taking off nicely. What I don't hear talked about a lot about is recovery. And so basically working out and training is a series of soft tissue injury and inflammation. And so proper recovery allows you to take care of that. And when you do so, you supercompensate, get bigger, stronger, faster. If you are not recovering, then you just have a constant breakdown of soft tissues and you get the chronic injuries and wind up seeing me and colleagues here in the office.
So when I was in high school, the big thing was chocolate milk after a game. You're saying no.
Well, so the bottom line is you have to cut down things that are causing general body inflammation to allow you to put all your resources towards your recovery. Start off with things like sugar. So chocolate milk has tons of sugar, and sugar can be very inflammatory. Some people are also very sensitive to dairy. They don't have to be lactose intolerant, but they can have general dairy insensitivities. So that's probably not the best source of a post-workout recovery.
All right, well, Dr. Bixler, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much. For more information on this, go to osshealth.com.
That was our Grace Grill with Dr. Bixler of OSS Health. As you know, Dr. Bixler did your daughter's surgery too, and I mean, he's finally operated, and really, I just feel like he's just the absolute premier guy on
he definitely
injuries.
is, and I'll tell you, when it comes to this area, I mean, the ACL knee repairs, that's his thing, man. So definitely.
Well, as we move and transition into our first half stats, if you look at our Highmark halftime stats, total yards 408 to 149. I mean, you can circle a lot of them, but look at the passing yards, 372. I mean, that's just those are just big numbers. And I mean, when you look at it, Jerome, Archie, I mean, 408 total yards, 372 in the passing area, 5 first downs versus the 14. No turnovers both times. Interesting, both teams, no turnovers. But, you know.
Well, Middletown with the rushing, that was a lot of those yards is lower because of how, remember the 2 plays that went backwards for Middletown, and they were significant plays, negative plays for them. So that hurts the rushing total. And right now you're seeing big plays on one side and not so many big plays on another, and that's what you see in the game. Bishop McDevitt, their quick strike ability just makes them so dangerous to play.
If I'm Coach Wechter right now, man, I am raving over how my team is playing right now. When I get these stats like all coaches get at halftime, I'm looking at 372 yards passing, but the big thing that we seen, guys, was 0 penalties.
Yep.
So as a coach right now, I'm patting my guys on the back. Hey, guys, you guys are playing great, but let's don't let out the pedal right now. Let's keep going out there and let's keep executing, because we're still in our season, and we want to prepare as we get ready to roll into our midpoint of the season into the later part.
Well, let's go down to Grace Grill, who's standing by with Coach Jeff Rector. Grace?
Your receivers this game. When you have receivers like Burnett and Becker, how does that make this team better as a whole?
I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to blitz and bring the house and give us one-on-one. So they are stopping the run game a little bit because they're just clogging it up. But then you leave your guys out one-on-one. There's nobody in the state that we feel that can cover those 2 kids one-on-one. And they tried to roll their coverage a little bit at the last play of the half, and we threw Julian Jordan in, and he caught the long touchdown pass. So we have to continue to play good defense and see what they're going to do here in the second half. Do they change their defense? If not, we'll keep on throwing it.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys, back to you.
All right, Grace. Coach Rector said it very well. They were kind of just crowding the box a bit and trying to stop the run, stop any run at all, and then you get one-on-one coverage, and you've got 3 burners. And, I mean, listen, we try to make a distinction. Both of you played college football at a high level. We try to make a distinction between even a Division I player and a high school player. The speed of the game when you're playing, when you're touted to be a Division I player, is a whole other level. Many kids talk about it when they go to that next level and play, and they go, man, the speed of the game. These guys are playing at that collegiate speed already. And, Archie, you hit on it. Jerome, you hit on it. In man-to-man coverage, you get burnt day after day.
Well, that's one thing that every coach is looking at. If you're trying to get recruited, if you're trying to play on that level, you have to be able to beat your guy. And not only can you beat your guy in a cover 2 or cover 3, you're going to have to be able to dominate your guy if he's playing you on man-on-man, one-on-one. And that's what McDevitt is taking advantage of right now. And the quarterback, like Jerome knows, if we got a pinpoint accuracy quarterback like the last 3 weeks we have seen out of all these quarterbacks, I mean, as a receiver right now, I'm in the best thing that's in my life right now at my young career. And it only gets better when I stay to the next level.
No doubt about it. And I'm glad he mentioned, I mean, we have been treated on this High School Sports Live 2018 season with guys who, veteran quarterbacks, guys who know the game, guys who are field generals. And I take nothing away from what Scott Ash has done here tonight even. He's made a couple very nice plays, but as you know, I mean, you're up against it right now, 33-7. We've had a special treat on Friday nights, and it's been 10-year anniversary that we've called this together, guys. And more importantly, we've got to watch these guys not only play at a high level here at the high school level. It's fun when you turn a TV on Saturdays or you pick up a paper and read about them at that next level?
Well, the development, and we talked about this last week, the development of the high school quarterback is very different than it once was. Gone are the option offenses and the wing tees for the most part, and you're seeing a lot of spread looks. Now, the spread concepts are very NFL-like. They're predicated on athletes that develop into good passers, and they're learning how to read defenses at an earlier age. So many of these guys, you're seeing it at every level, that you see true freshmen that are stepping in and being starting quarterbacks in college, in Division III, Division II, and Division I, and those guys then go on and they're in the NFL as well. So right now, I think the quarterback position is definitely one of those situations where you are now able to play at such a high level because they're teaching quarterback concepts at such a young age. And you see a guy like Chase Dill, who we saw 2 years ago in his sophomore year, he wasn't like this then.
Right.
He was learning the offense. He was learning to be a quarterback, but all he needed was time and good coaching. And now you see, he's polished. So we've seen, like you said, we've been treated to some very good quarterbacks, and all of them will probably be the ones that we've seen and raving about will be playing at the next level.
Fabiola down at Central York last week, I thought lit up the sky. And we cannot even say enough about the kid at Coatesville. And then you come over here, Chase Dill.
I tell you, Fabiola's was probably out of all of them the most polished that I've seen. And that goes to say a lot, because we've had 3 that we've seen that have been amazing.
And Middletown will have an opportunity at the ball that'll be downed. And they've got good field position. We'll go down later on here in the third quarter to Archie Smith Jr. as he goes back down the field. We thank Grace Grill for a halftime report. And it's third quarter action, 33-7, McDevitt. Middletown with the ball here at home at War Memorial Field. And it's been a long time, really, in the last couple of years that Middletown has been on this side of this type of game. Don't count them out. Don't count the Blue Raiders out. And Crusaders know that. As Coach Rector said, we just still got to keep playing hard. You're never going to let your team take the foot off the throttle, are you? No. You know what high school football is like. People can come back quick. You can score in bunches. Ash to Lopez. Lopez left side. And they know he's getting it, and that's a great tackle coming up and making that play is actually Easterly. That's Mario Easterly. He's only a freshman. He's 6 foot, 175. He's getting very good minutes here.
Yeah, and again, what Coach Rector said was he's going to see what Middletown does, and if they don't adjust, he's going to keep going. And that's why I said this could easily be a pretty bad loss situation if things don't change for Middletown.
So Ash's pass is complete. And that is Timothy Wagner, the sophomore,
and again,
making his first catch.
A swing pass, but it's a slow developing swing pass against a defense that has a lot of speed.
Right.
So this is probably the third time we've seen it, and it's lost yards every single time, and it loses yards because it's so slow developing. It's easy to read. You can see that from up here as it's developing.
Right.
So I know the guys on the field, they see it quickly.
3rd and 11 for Middletown. Single receiver left side. Put Sykes in motion. Ash over the middle. It's complete. Cross the 40, the 30. The pass is complete to Christopher Joseph. He'll walk in the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Raiders. Don't count him out yet. Big strike, big play on 3rd and 11 when they needed it.
And they had that pass pattern open probably 3 to 4 times in the first quarter, and Ash missed it. This time, Ash settled in, and he threw a strike, and you have a touchdown, and Middletown's able to strike quickly.
Well, Christopher Joseph comes back with that one. I'm sorry, that's Timothy Wagner on the touchdown. That was Wagner for Middletown.
So again, you had just a good play by Joseph there, getting open. Ash hits him. Now let's see what Middletown can do with this. 33 to 14. What can they do? Can they do something defensively and adjust to this Bishop McDevitt offense?
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently, we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Today, yeah. And you can tell they're trying to hit it. They've been trying to hit it.
Last drive, welcome back. Lopez on the left side started this whole drive off. Welcome back here at War Memorial Field. And that, as you said, was a little bit of a slow developing play, and McDevitt read that all the way. But on the 3rd and 11, Scott Ash, he's had this a couple times. He threw it high. He hooks up to Joseph for the touchdown, and a big play for Middletown, putting him on the board here, 33-14.
And again, that middle of the field defensively in the secondary has been open. And you can tell Middletown has been trying to hit it all day long, and Ash hasn't been able to connect. He's thrown high a couple of times. We had the penalty on the one, and he finally is able to get it on that play.
Well, McDevitt will have their first opportunity here. It'll be third quarter action, 10:32 to play, 33-14. If you're a Blue Raider fan, that was a nice thing to be positive about. That was a 3-play, 61-yard drive. It took about 1 minute, 28 seconds. And that is going to go against Middletown.
Ball starts at the 35-yard line. We're going to be first down, McDevitt.
So again, you get a good look at that offensive line. I mean, that's a big group. I mean, you look. That's a group you would see in college across the line for McDevitt. And again, will Middletown be able to adjust? And kind of like what Archie said, will they be able to just say, you know what, we play coverage?
That offensive line, as you said, they've done a great job. C.J. Diggs on the left side. That offensive line is Carter Christopher, Logan O'Grady, Josh Dower, Sawyer Morgan, Bryce Barnes. I mean, size-wise, and they're led by senior-dominated offensive line. I mean, they just pancake you, like you see. I mean, they will absolutely pancake you.
And Diggs, he gets first carry 8 yards, and he doesn't get touched until he's 6 yards into the secondary. So, again, that offensive line is doing their part.
The single receivers left and right. Burnett and Becker. Dill gives to CJ off the left side, right side, excuse me.
That's good defense. Number
short.
30, Ventura, is on the play. He gets his head in there along with number 5, Trayvon Joseph.
Now it's going to be 3rd and 1. Boy, if you're a Blue Raider fan with 9:29 to play here, you're thinking, man, if we can get a stop right here. McDevitt taking their time, but getting the ball back with this crowd starting to kind of get back live after that 62-yard hookup. It looks like McDevitt's going to need a timeout to talk about it. Coach Rector and the staff wants to talk about it. 9:07 to play. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more after these messages.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Well, welcome back. 33-14. It's time to go to Grace Grill in the mid. She's in our mid-pin bank. We'll hold off on that. Grace is heading over to the student section. We'll come back with that. It's 9:07 to play. It's 3rd and 1. McDevitt. Give left side. And that was Becker on the left side. He'll get a carry. See, they're getting different ways, differentiating him with the ball.
And again, Becker is so versatile. He can get you in both ways. He may be even the best running back in the game, right now. So I'll tell you what, he's showing what he can do, definitely.
So again, Becker is just having a good game, gets the first down.
33-14, 8:45 to play, 1st and 10. Chase Steele, play action, is going to roll left. Looking downfield, nothing there. Gets away again. Avoided 3 guys looking down the field, and it'll be incomplete. And boy, for a moment you thought, does he have those speedy receivers down there?
He did. He just couldn't get it out there. Burnett was wide open behind the defense. So he was open.
Unbelievable.
Well, again, I'll tell you what, when you're Middletown, you do a good job of getting pass rush. You force him out of the pocket. You want to get Dill down. And Dill's able to escape and not make a horrible mistake. But if he had the opportunity to set up and deliver a ball, Burnett's wide open downfield again. Gets behind the defense.
So it'll be 2nd down on the 49-yard line. 3rd quarter action here. Impressively, Blue Raiders came back with a 3-play drive and 62-yard hookup for a touchdown. And McDevitt first possessed second half. That'll be incomplete. Oh, it was complete. Actually, it was complete. So let's go over and take an opportunity for our Mid-Penn student section with Grace Grill. Grace?
That's right, guys. I'm with the Bishop McDevitt student section. It's a blackout, and clearly I didn't get the memo because I'm the only one in white. But their team is up, and how do we feel about it? I think that says it all, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Grace. Mid-Penn Bank teaming up with our student section. That's a blackout for the McDevitt team. They're up 33-14. Their crowd comes on the road, and there's a fumble. And Middletown will get it back, and you hear the Middletown Blue Raider crowd.
Again, if I'm Middletown, 1st down, why not see if you could take a shot down the middle of the field again? That seems to be a soft spot in this McDevitt defense. Good job on the defensive end. We have an injury now. Joseph is down, and they cannot afford to have him down.
So we have an injury timeout. And look at that, the recovery when they need it. That's the only turnover of the game right now. Middletown, if they can capitalize, as you said, they've had some opportunities. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently, we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
As a trusted local community bank, Mid-Penn Bank offers options for families including simply free checking, a young savior's account, great rates on CDs and money markets, and an array of financial options including mortgages and home equity loans. Stop in at Mid-Penn Bank branch near you or visit midpennbank.com to learn more. 1st and 10 Middletown, 33-14. Got a turnover when they needed it. Give to Sykes on the right side. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. on the field. Hey, how about a turnover when you need it? 33-14. They capitalized when they got the ball. Now they got it back. Middletown, big opportunity here. Arch?
Well, guys, one thing that we cannot forget about this Middletown team, every kid that you see out here on the field possesses a state championship ring. These guys was young freshmen or either sophomores in those games, and also they went back last year. So don't forget, these guys have championship pedigree in them, and they've been in big games.
He is exactly right. Shotgun formation. Scott Ash looking over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. But it's going to be pass interference on McDevitt. And they're going to flag the freshman, Mario Easterly.
And it does look like he got there a little quick. So, again, that was a good job for Middletown to go downfield in the middle of the field. That's not a bad idea. You see Ash is looking. Yeah, definitely. There's no question about that. Easterly got there a little early.
So it'll be 2nd and 8. Ball on the 45-yard line. And it'll be an automatic first down after it was 2nd and 8 on that play. The ball was at the 40. It's at the 40. It'll be a first down for Middletown. Scott Ash is going to get the play from the sideline. give to Lopez right side. Lopez running hard. He squares his shoulders across the 40, shy of the 35-yard line. Positive yardage for Middletown.
And again, Lopez just, he's having a good game, quietly a good game. The score won't tell it, but he's able to get positive yards. And again, if you take away those 2 negative plays, he would be probably close, well over 100 yards by now.
It'll be 2nd and 7 for Middletown. 6:45 to play here in the third quarter. Asked to give to Lopez. Lopez right side. Lopez cross the 20-yard line. Stiff arms. Cross the 10. Down to the 5. He'll be drugged down by Julian Jordan. And Lopez looking to knock on the door. Hey, wait a minute. We talked about do not count the Blue Raiders out. And Archie Smith Jr. made a great point. But there's flags down. Unfortunately, it's going to bring the play back for Middletown. If you're a Blue Raider fan, these penalties will come back. They had 5 in the first half. It's now 7 here in the second half. And these are going to come back to kill you. Archie Smith Jr.
Guys, as we're seeing right now, that was a big play that got called back from an illegal shift down here. But standing down here on the sideline, man, this is a great environment. I mean, the Middletown fans are behind these guys, and nobody is over here panicking, guys. That's what I mean by these guys have been in big games before. They're settling down. They're just going to get to Middletown football.
Thank you, Archie. 2nd and 12, ball on the 42.
42-yard line. We're going to play 2nd down.
Ash getting to play again from the sideline. He's a very busy quarterback here. Ash back with time. Drops off to Lopez. Well defended.
And that route had no possibility of it being anything more than what it was. Again, you got to try to hit that deep middle of the field, and now we look like we have a McDevitt player down.
Yeah, we haven't. I know Justin Piper come up to make this in his dump off. He come up to make this tackle. He defended it very well. I can't see what happened on the far side of the field. Looks like a defensive back down. And that down player is Hopkins. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more after these messages.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Well, welcome back. Third quarter. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. Archie?
I tell you what, guys, being down here on the field, which is a lovely thing to be right now, it is some physical battle going on in these trenches right now. As me and Jerome know, playing on that outside, man, you do not want to get caught up trying to tussle with those big linemen that's coming down the field, man. You're trying to tussle with the receivers. Better yet to come off the block and try to tackle number 25, Mr. Lopez.
Yeah, and what they want to do is they want to eat you up out there. They want to eat you alive out there, so you got to be smart at defensive backs. But again, Lopez is showing that he can run, but mistakes, unfortunately, in the penalty realm is pushing that Middletown team back. So, with this injury, hopefully we don't want to see any kids injured. But we know that it's a part of the game, and we hope that, the player that's down, and that's number 14, Hopkins, will be okay. But he's definitely needing some assistance.
As well, guys, you can see like the tempo is starting to slow down now. The adrenaline has come down, and now the players are playing. Now, this is good. It's a benefit for Middletown and also a benefit for McDevitt, because those boys was Middletown coming up, and McDevitt trying to fight these guys off. It takes a lot of energy, as we've been seeing in the weeks come. So now the game is settling down. Be prepared for some good football, guys.
Yeah, Middletown settled down here in the second half. Scott Ash, 3rd and 13. Ash back to pass. Drop off. He had Sykes, and it's going to be incomplete. Hit him in the feet with it.
And I'm not sure how much room Sykes would have had if the defense was in good position. And again, at this point, do you start going for 4th down? Again, it's 4th down and 13. You just go for it at this point. You're down 33-14. You had a good opportunity to score on the last drive. So again, whether you punt it or not, McDevitt's quick strike is going to do what they do. So let's see what Middletown does.
4th and 13. Ash rolling right. looking downfield, and it's complete. It's going to be shy of the down marker. McDevitt will take over on downs with 5:46 to play here in the third quarter.
And that's always hard for me to swallow, is when you see a 10-yard route or a 14-yard route, but the receiver runs a 13-yard pattern. And the defense is on him, catches the ball, great, but it ends it right there. So my thing is always to go beyond the sticks and pull it out. And there wasn't like there was a pass rush in your face. So.
Veterans know that field awareness. You've got to have that field awareness. Basketball, we talk about court awareness, time and score, things like that. Just shy of the marker. Good pass thrown well by Scott Ash. But McDevitt will take over on downs, and Chase Dill and squad will come on with 5:46 to play here. 1st and 10 in the third quarter. Play action. Dill's pass is complete across the 45-yard line.
Pass is complete, number 9, Isaiah Burnett.
That was Burnett on the hookup.
Number 21, Antonio Bryant.
And Bryant on the tackle for Middletown.
And again, Burnett, you know, that respect that's given by Bryant, you know, they don't want to get beat deep. So allowing Burnett to go out, and again, I'm very impressed with his pattern running. And you're not going to see this from many receivers across the league in high school, what Burnett's doing. He's showing a lot of just poise and just good route running from the receiver position.
Well, Dill's going to draw the Middletown right side off of the snap. It's Cadence. They will be offsides, and that'll move the ball from McDevitt on the penalty. That's 8 penalties against Middletown. 5:20 to play. One ball on the 45. Bad snap, but still handled somehow, and Burnett will push left side real hard and be tackled by a host of Blue Raiders. Coming up making that initial tackle is Devin Clare. He's a junior. He's 6'1" and 230-pound linebacker. He's been, in there on a lot of tackles today.
And Becker almost lost the handoff there. So that similar to the turnover that we saw on the last drive for McDevitt. This one was close to where Becker didn't get a real secure ball on that play.
So it's 2nd and 10, ball on the 45-yard line. Deal under center. The blitz was on, and they got to Burnett, or excuse me, they got to Deal, and that was just enough to take him out of his rhythm, because he had Burnett down the sideline, and it would have been another touchdown.
Well, he wasn't able to step into this throw. He fades back. He sees pressure coming from the side. Wasn't able to fully step through, and that was Avery Williams coming off the side. So he wasn't able to just launch this ball, and that was a good defensive effort by Avery Williams.
Avery Williams coming up, making a play to be 3rd and 2, 4:32 to play, ball on the 47. We have whistles. So the ball was spotted in the wrong hash, so they'll have to fix that. So it'll be 3rd and 2 for McDevitt. No place to go for Burnett on the right side, coming up and making that tackle on a loss. And that's Ventura, who's come up and made a lot of nice plays tonight for Middletown.
Yeah, and that's what they need. Ventura needs to play downhill, and that was an example of him playing downhill from the linebacker position, able to get penetration and make the play.
We're seeing a different Middletown second half team here. Charged up. They are stacking the box, putting a lot of guys in. Got that one-on-one coverage on the outside, and that's what's dangerous. And the ball is tipped, and it's good coverage.
Excellent, excellent coverage from Joseph. One-on-one with the Division I recruit on the outside. The junior Joseph, run for run, or step for step with Burnett, and we have a flag, so we'll see what this is about.
Great defense by Joseph. Joseph, who has the second half touchdown. We're going to talk about it here.
And that's a cornerback with you got to have a short memory. I mean, when you're playing against the receiver and talent that you see, you're going to see guys that are just amazing. And right now, Joseph learned and he played it very well. He kept contact with the receiver without pass interference.
didn't get bit inside, didn't get caught inside looking, and was able to go stride for stride, and then when the ball's in the air, go up and make a play on it, and that's what he did. So good job by number 22 on the play, Christopher Joseph.
Boy, this is a long conference over this penalty. Are they going to wave it off?
Well, guys, what they're talking about in the trenches down here has been a battle. The Middletown player, he's getting up. He's been to the referee at least the last 2 times back to back. I guess, something is going on after the plays down here, and he's been complaining about it to the referees, but I think that he retaliated and got caught this time with a hands to the face.
So hands to the face is going to go against Middletown. Brett Myers is going to come and talk about it, say, what possibly might be happening here. Again, Myers is trying to conference with it and said, wait a minute, there's a lot going on out here tonight, and you heard the Middletown crowd, they were not happy with the call.
But like me and Jerome know, and our coaches and all the kids out there now, the coaches still preach this thing to this day. It's not the first guy to get caught, it's always the second guy.
Always the second guy.
Exactly. A lot of conference going on here, and a lot of booing here out of the Blue Raider crowd. All right, so it'll be 1st and 10. Chase Steele back to pass over the top, has exactly what he wants. It'll be a touchdown. Bishop McDevitt, Burnett again. And they got that single coverage, knew exactly what he wanted, waited for it. He goes to Burnett's side, and Joseph was in coverage. It'll be a touchdown, Bishop McDevitt. So take another look at it again with play action, just over the top, single coverage, boom, touchdown.
And then as well as Joseph played the last play, he peeped inside. And you saw it on the video. He peeps inside, and Burnett, the second you do that, he burns you. And again, he played it so well the first time. And the second time you see it, it was freeze frame. You see him peeping inside, and Burnett is blowing right past it.
I don't know. They've got so many weapons. The kick, the point after is up, and it's good. It'd be 40-14 more after these messages.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently, we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Welcome back. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. on the field. Archie, Middletown came out. They loaded that box again, played run. Deal sees that single coverage, and he just lights up. And when he gets the protection that he wants. That last drive was set up by a couple good runs, and more importantly, by the arm of Chase Steele.
Well, you can see the momentum. Middletown was getting some momentum coming back. But in that 4th down, a penalty which give McDevitt the ball back, and they run the same exact play again. And that's a DB out there on that island alone. You're up against a good receiver. I'm trying to play pass. But like you say, once you make that one peek in the backfield, you get burnt for 6.
I'll tell you what, you guys have been on all night from the secondary perspective. But man, special players in special situations. Well, both of you know, I talk a lot about you guys being defenders, but you guys were offensive guys too. That last play was 6 plays, 67 yards.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's the one thing about Archie. Being a defensive player, most good defensive players were offensive players at some point. And my offense, I would have stayed offense if it wasn't for situations that happened. And I was able to play defense, and I was a very good defender. So they saw that too, and I was able to play. But being able to know both and being a student of the game, that's what's important. And whether you're offensive player, defensive player, or you've done both, you understand the game, you know what to do.
Middletown will have the ball 1st and 10, 3:38 to play. Gives to Sykes. Sykes right side, not much there. And coming up making that initial tackle, and he's been doing it all night, is Devin Clare getting penetration, the junior. Clare will be a guy for sure. Donnelly and Clare, guys like this up front linebacker core will be playing on Saturday. Justin Piper, the junior, too, has been very effective today from his outside position.
Look at Clare, 6'1", 230 pounds, and he's a junior. And he looks the part.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, does he look the part.
So 2nd and 10 for Middletown. Ball on the 37. Ash had to get out of there. Pocket collapse, and it's complete down the right side to Ventura. Ventura down the 20, and he'll be tackled by the backside. Hustling down to make the play is Justin Piper.
And you know, what's really cool to see is the excitement that the Middletown players have for the big play, regardless of what the score is. Because at this point, that's what you want. You want to still come back and make a good play. Ash is able to avoid the rush, slides to the outside, and then delivers a good ball for a first down.
Brought down at the 18-yard line. It is a first down, Raiders.
So it'll be first down and 10. The ball in the 18. Red zone opportunity for the Blue Raiders. Sykes will go in motion. They'll give to Lopez. And Lopez will be drugged down by Clare for McDevitt.
Number 25, Jose Lopez with the carry. He's brought down at the 15-yard line, where it'll be second down.
You see that defense is just, just hard to run on inside like that.
So it'll be 2nd and 7. The ball on the 15. Up over the top, and it'll be incomplete. Ash intended a receiver.
That was Pugh. Pugh tries to get up, and just good defensive play on the other side.
Jared Pugh had entered in the game here and get an opportunity, and Ash looking to go over the top. It was good coverage by the freshman, Mario Easterly. So it'll be 1:52 to play here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 7, the ball on the 15. Ash, back to pass, it'll be incomplete. And Julian Jordan coming up to make the coverage. And I thought it was a great play from the get-go. Actually, that's not Jordan, that's Jahi Cooper.
And that was just good defensive effort. That didn't seem to be a penalty at all.
So 1:48 to play. It'll be 4th and 7. Middletown looking to try to get another score here in the third quarter. Their first possession of the second half they scored on. Ash to Johnson. Give to Lopez. Reversed, and it's going to be fumbled. And McDevitt will recover in the red zone. That's those kind of things you look back on the film, regardless of what the score is, and you go, man, that's a mental mess up.
And trying to do a little trickeration, there's nothing wrong with that. On the play.
So it'll be 1st and 10.
First down, McDevitt.
And big number 55 gets on the ball and gets that from recovery again. I don't think that's a bad call at this point. You want to try to do something, but you have to execute it. It looks like they were going to do a kind of a halfback pass situation that didn't go that well.
Deal doing it again with his cadence. And Middletown's going to jump off sides.
They get Gusler, number 50, in the middle of that defense, jumps this time. And again, you think about the firepower that's been on the sideline today. Let's look at 2017. Chase Deal had 2,624 yards passing and 26 touchdowns. You had Nazir Burnett in 2017 had 1,046 yards and 13 touchdowns, and he's well on a pace to beat that. You have Tynus Becker, who had 868 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns going to Old Dominion. And then you have Lopez, 1,793 yards and 25 touchdowns last year, and Ash as the quarterback, 1,132 yards, 9 TDs, and he threw 52%.
Yeah, the numbers are impressive. They do not lie. 1:44 to play here. 1st and 10, ball on the 23-yard line for McDevitt. And they're going to move back. Penalty on McDevitt.
The ball is moved back to the 18-yard line.
Getting a little sloppy here late here in the third quarter.
First down.
So it'll be 1st and 15. The ball will be now on the 18-yard line. The give will be on the right side. It's Tanias Becker.
Number 6, Tanias Becker with the carry.
And Gussler makes the tackle, number 50. And some scores real quick. Manheim Township, blue streak is up. Number 22-12 on Central Dauphin. Susquehanna Township is now up in the fourth quarter, 26-21 on Huntington. Lower Dauphin is still down 43-10 on Exeter. DeLone Catholic has opened up their lead on Still High, 54-19. Milton Hershey is in the Cocoa Bean Bowl down the road is up 20-7 in the third on Hershey. Southwestern is down big. Carlisle is still rumbling. The Herd is doing well down south of 81. And then Dover area is up on Redland 22-0.
There's another penalty again against McDevitt. But when you're the McDevitt team, you know Coach Wecker's talking to them already. Look at Chase Dill's numbers tonight. 14 for 23 for 429 yards and 6 TDs. I mean, that's impressive. I mean,
well, we have one more score that has ended the game. Cumberland Valley is now 0-3. They lost 35-19 to Coatesville.
Yeah. So Cumberland Valley team that we haven't talked about in a long, long time being 0-3. But boy, their schedule, they have a tough schedule.
They did.
McDevitt,
that was a gauntlet schedule.
Central York, and last week, and then had to go to Coatesville on the road. I mean, that's the schedule. That's quite the schedule.
So it's hard to know. I mean,
schedule.
it's hard to know how, you know, if they really are just having a bad year, or they just ran into a juggernaut of a schedule. Because that is I mean, when you see that schedule coming into this year, you had to look at that and say, man, that's before we get into the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. Are you serious? That's a tough schedule, but you got to give them credit for doing that. So,
right.
And just like this schedule right here, this was actually a really good schedule for Middletown and Bishop McDevitt to show both where they are. So, you know, for Bishop McDevitt going against a 3A, state championship game player 2 years in a row, and then Middletown going against McDevitt.
Becker on the left side, and then there's a flag down.
Number 6, nice Becker. Flag on the play.
Man, we have a down player.
I think that's Joseph.
Chris Joseph come up, and I mean the junior. Now he's getting up. That's great to see. But boy, was that was such a quick play. And then flags are down, and that's going to go against McDevitt.
So it backs him up again.
Penalties a block in the back on McDevitt.
We get a block in the back that'll push McDevitt back even further. So again, McDevitt got a little sloppy on this drive, but we know they can eat up 40 yards in one play.
They're so dangerous, and they have explosive plays. I mean, guys that have burners, jets. I mean, it's the best way to describe it. And it's one of those teams where, man, you can't blink. I give credit to the second half tenacity of the Blue Raiders. They came out with a mission here in the second half to try to get back in the game. They scored on their first possession. Then they turned the ball over in the red zone. Give the ball back to McDevitt. McDevitt's moving backwards on their penalties. This drive. We're going to go over top at a big play, and it's going to be complete to Burnett across the 30-yard line.
And just that quick, first down.
And that's a first down for McDevitt.
Burnett's able to get, in between the corner and safety.
Bill knew he had to get that ball out early, and he did, and Burnett was there to receive it across the 30-yard line. First down, McDevitt.
And it looks like there was a man under look where they had
a man playing under and then safety help over top.
They were short of the marker, so it'll be 3rd and 2. My correction, the ball on the 31-yard line. And it'll be 4th down. It's a big stop for Middletown.
Number 6, nice Becker with the carry.
Becker on the left side. He couldn't pick it up.
And Gage Radaball just comes up from his position, the senior, from his linebacker position, and makes a brilliant play. He brings up a 4th down, and see what McDevitt does. Will they go for it, or will they kick it away and play defense?
Well, that's going to end the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more coming up here. 4th quarter action on ABC 27.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently, we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
I am anything I want to be.
I am one of the faces of Commonwealth Charter Academy.
I go to school online, tuition free.
I learn best at my own pace.
My own pace.
I see school differently. I learn from anywhere.
From anywhere. I'm an artist.
I'm a musician.
I am an athlete. I am anything I want to be. And I won't stop learning. I am CCA.
Join me today at ccaeducate.me.
Welcome back to 4th quarter action. McDevitt will punt. Middletown will get the ball back and should have really good field position, try to get another opportunity to put one on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Well, Burnett's back punting, so I'm not necessarily glued on the idea that he's going to kick this. Just saying. I'll wait until he kicks it before I believe that's happening. All right.
Goes Nazir Burnett on the punt. Middletown will have it across the 35 at the 36-yard line. They're giving them an opportunity here to see if they can put another score on the board here in the 4th quarter. Kind of a pride score, more than importantly.
Definitely. Again, it's a pride score to build off of what you want to do next week. You're looking at the schedule. Middletown is not going to see this team again this year.
It is a first down.
They wanted to play a big time Bishop McDevitt team. They played them. They got a chance to see what it's about. This is something that if you can come out of this with minimal injuries, you'll learn from this, and then next week will be a different story.
Scott Ashton shotgun formation. Put Sykes in motion. The give to Lopez. Lopez left side. Croston to 45. And Jordan will tackle. Justin Piper, the junior, will bring him down.
And again, Lopez getting forward, north-south. That's when he's at his best. I'll tell you what, man, teams are going to have a hard time with him, and they have already. I mean, again, think about it. If it looks like, from what it looks like Middletown's going to lose this game, this is their first loss of the season. They've done extremely well to this point. They'll have this loss against a very good team, but what we see from them, they're going to be amazing, have an opportunity to still do what they've done in previous years.
There's movement on the Middletown side.
False start on Middletown.
It's a false start to be backing them up into the 5. It's kind of quieted down here in Roy Memorial. I mean, from the get-go, McDevitt has had literally, you see this crowd is still staying pretty solid, but it's one of them nights where, they came here with high anticipation of this matchup. And McDevitt's proven why they've most likely going on to look at 3-0.
Yep.
Screen to Lopez. This is where he's dangerous. An open field. Lopez across the 50, the 40. One guy to beat across the 20, across the 10, still on his feet, and just shy of putting it in the end zone for 6. Man, oh man, that's a great play that you're going to see a lot. And man, chasing him down was Justin Piper, who did not give up on the play. Screen set up perfectly. Square your shoulders, north and south, as you talk about. He had one guy to beat.
And that's what you want on a screen play. You get north-south, get your guys in front, and
it looks like this is coming back.
It's going to be holding on Middletown. So, Archie, when you're looking at game film tomorrow, or let's just say Monday, giving kids off Sunday, when you're Middletown, you're looking at the game film, and there's a lot of things you can do. There were plays tonight that you had where maybe you were overthrown as a quarterback. That screen is definitely dangerous if other people are looking at the scouting film on Monday. That's one that you got to be very careful of when that screen's set up and 25 has guys in front of it.
Well, one thing that we learned what type of team we're going to be and what type of offense that we're going to have against a man defense. McDevitt has played no zone at all tonight. These guys have been in man all night. As you can see, Lopez has been open coming out of the backfield because that leaves him one-on-one with the linebacker, and I'm going to take my money with Lopez against any linebacker in the state. And guess what? He's been making the pay, but the quarterback has been missing on those passes. So as I'm Middletown right now, I've learned a lot about my offense, and we'll be able to set down to move forward.
Well, that's going to be dropped. He was down. It's going to be. So the pass was complete to Sykes.
And again, one of the things that Middletown has done is they've shot themselves in the foot a little bit with penalties. They've had big plays, and at times on both sides of the ball, and then penalties have brought them back or advanced the ball for Bishop McDevitt.
So it'll be 3rd and 9 on the 39.
And that did not look like a catch at all.
No. Another screen, and that's going to be read very well by the Crusader defense. It'll be incomplete. They're trying to go to Lopez. So it'll be 4th down.
And Keon Kelly, the big 6'1", 265-pound defensive lineman, flattens Lopez in the screen pattern route, not letting him get outside.
9:50 to play, and when you wake up tomorrow morning, one of the things you feel, sometimes you feel a little sore. You don't feel the soreness until really another day after. But both of these teams have been warriors on the field today. There's been a lot of hard hits, been a lot of physical play. But Middletown will have to punt. And the danger tonight is Becker back to receive that punt. See if they try to kick away from him like they've been doing. They'll be very careful. There's going to be a fake punt, and he's going to go to Lopez, but whistles.
Delay of game on Middletown.
And again, another penalty for Middletown. That has been difficult for Middletown, just continuing these penalties that have hurt them and have plagued them all game, really.
Been a lot of flags here on both teams now collectively. I mean, first half, Middletown had 5. McDevitt only had 1. But Middletown has doubled that here in the second half. So Avery's punt at the 25-26 taken by Becker. Becker making one guy miss, and really good coverage by Middletown.
And good coverage by number 66, Hefner. Colin Hefner, the junior, gets down on kick coverage. So again, these Middletown Blue Raiders are not giving up. They're in it, to try to keep playing and playing hard with 9:34, 40-14. This game is out of reach. But again, they're still playing hard.
There's 9:34 to play. McDevitt will have the ball back. Let's see if they any changes in that lineup as they bring it back out. That's going to be Chase Steele and the crew.
Fans, if you have lost and are looking for your phone, please report to the press box. Fans, if you have lost and are looking for your phone, please report to the press box.
So coming up at the end of the game, we'll have our giant post-game report where we'll feature the Pizza Hut play of the game, and we're going to discuss the Hoffman Ford player of the game here. I mean,
Number 25, CJ Reyes,
there's a lot of guys on the McDevitt side if they hold off to win. I mean, which, they got a commanding lead here. I mean, you can argue for Becker and Burnett, but you can argue for Chase Steele and what he's done. Now that penalty's going to on McDevitt.
And I know for me, how many touchdown passes have Chase Steele thrown for?
I mean,
I think we you know, how many has he thrown today?
Yeah, I mean,
and he's hit, you know, different receivers for a touchdown. So I know for me, as great as Burnett has done, and as wide open as he's been, you know, Deal has played an exceptional game from the quarterback position.
It's been unbelievable. Let's go down to Archie and Archie's thoughts. Archie, your player of the game thoughts.
Well, guys, we might be going back and revisiting 2 years ago when we awarded 2 guys player of the game up at the Cedar Cliff game we did 2 years ago. You guys remember that?
Yep. Oh, yeah, I do remember.
Because, man, these guys are putting on. I mean, it's kind of really, like you say, man, it's really kind of hard to pick one, man, when both guys has been performing well.
I mean, they're putting on a clinic. They're putting on a clinic.
You're right. Give to the right side. Cross the 30, cross the 35, and knocked out of bounds. Getting an opportunity here for McDevitt is Victor Patterson.
Tinker with the carry.
It's Tinker. And that's the young Derek Tinker, the 10th grader, is getting some run for Bishop McDevitt.
So it'll be 2nd and 2.
So it'll be 2nd and 7, 9:03 to play. The ball on the 37-yard line. There's a great look at Nazir Burnett, the Syracuse bound recruit. There's a lot of guys on the field, even on the Middletown side. Jose Lopez, guys will play at the next level. Tinker on the left side. We haven't heard much from him here in the second half. He had some opportunities in the first half, running hard.
Tinker's definitely a change of pace. He has a little bit more speed. He's young, but he has a little bit more speed. So he's somebody that'll be interesting. With McDevitt, you always get to see these young kids, and then you see them 2 years from now to see what they become.
Diedrich Tinker is sophomore. And there's a lot of weapons. There's some young weapons, some veterans mixed in. Big offensive line is the difference in the Crusaders. They've always been big up front. Shotgun formation for Dill. Single receiver left, single right. Give was going to be to Tinker, and we got
delay of game.
Another delay of the game. Delay of the game from McDevitt.
And you talk about McDevitt's offensive line. I mean, you know, size, they do have that, man. But one of the things that you do see and you like about them is how they fire off the ball. You know, we've seen big offensive lines and defensive lines that don't hold up. So size doesn't always matter. We've seen Cumberland Valley over the years that was always undersized, and they can push teams around.
Right.
So, you know, but these guys aren't just big. They fire off the ball and dominate.
So 16 for 25 is Chase Deal for 455 yards and 6 TDs. And there's Tinker across the 40. Tinker still on his feet crossing the 35. 455 yards, Archie Smith Jr., and 6 TDs for Chase Deal tonight. I mean, that is just...
Well, you know what, guys? That's a great number to reward your coach who's going for his 200 McDevitt win tonight, guys. So
200 wins.
That's a good overall accomplishment in this night's game, guys.
Here's the problem with Tinker coming into the game. If you're Middletown, you have been playing, your defense is tired, and you get fresh legs coming into the game against you.
Yeah.
Tinker's barely played. He gets in the game, he has fresh legs, and you now have to chase him around. So you're late in the fourth quarter, 7:52, 51 left in the game, and you have to chase around these legs behind that big offensive line. So you're seeing him do his damage.
Well, Bishop McDevitt will take a timeout. We'll be right back with more on ABC 27.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Welcome back with 7:47 to play. We just had some open discussion. We're coming up at our Giant post-game report. We'll have our Pizza Hut play of the game and our Hoffman Ford player of the game. And I mean, we've just having some discussions here. It's hard tonight because we've seen so many talented players on that McDevitt side that we could give the player of the game. I mean, you know, Chase Deal's numbers are incredible, but he's also having receivers with incredible numbers. Burnett and Becker big numbers tonight as well. 7:47 to play, ball in 34. Give it to Tinker. Tinker trying to bounce outside, and boy, he's going to be chased down. No, he's fine. He cuts, finds a way to cross the 20-yard line. I thought he was dead in grass, but he got out of it.
And again, that's fresh legs. You know, this guy, you know, those Middletown defenders have been chasing around Burnett, been chasing around all these power guys trying to get Chase Dill to the ground. And then you have this young guy comes in with fresh legs, and he's just able to escape.
At the 30-yard line.
So it'll be 2nd and 6.
It'll be 2nd and 6.
Ball at the 30. McDevitt taking their time. Single receivers left and double receiver, excuse me, it's Becker's, but wide is Alayua on the left side too. The give is to 44, Devin Clare. And the ball popped out and it'll be recovered by Joseph.
And Clare gives it up trying to fight for more yardage. Middletown gets the ball. And an opportunity to get your offense on the field. And we'll see if they bring in some new guys, some fresh guys, or will they keep their starters in, see if they can get some continuity.
Recovered by number 22, Christopher Joseph.
We'll see what happens again as it pops out right here, right there.
And that was number 17. Zedelmoyer comes in. Doyle Zedelmoyer comes in and puts his helmet right on the football. Was good defensive play.
Zedelmoyer making a nice heads-up play, getting the ball back for Middletown and saving another score for the scoreboard. Shotgun formation for Ash. Tamir Jackson on the carry. That'll be his first carry. He's a freshman.
So again, you're saying Middletown go to some of their young guys, you know, get some of your big guns out the game. Right now, Lopez is, you know, he's played tough. Some of these guys, doesn't matter. Keeping them in is not necessarily something you need to do. So I applaud the idea.
16-yard line. We're going to be 2nd and 9.
Well, how about coming in as a freshman? And then you're going against some of those Warriors, these seniors from McDevitt. And that was Devin Clare meeting the freshman. I'd like to see that battle again. And, you know, when you're a freshman coming into one of these matchups, Tamir Jackson goes, hey, I'll take the ball again. Let me give him another shot at this. Scott Ash, shotgun formation.
Well, when we look at Bishop McDevitt's schedule coming up for the rest of the game, the season, I mean, looking at this schedule, it's going to be very hard to see anyone topple them. I mean, you figure they have this Middletown game, which was probably their toughest you would think on the schedule. At Redland, home against Cedar Cliff. Then they have Waynesboro, Lower Dauphin, Hershey, Mechanicsburg, and Susquehanna Township. There's no one on that schedule, if you're Bishop McDevitt, that you would fear, that you would have any apprehensions about. You played the toughest part of your schedule was that beginning. Cumberland Valley, Gettysburg, Middletown. Gettysburg gave them a run last week. That was a 48-35 game.
Yeah.
But the meat of their schedule is done. The problem with that is then you get into the playoffs, then what?
Yeah.
If the competition doesn't match, right, you're hoping that Mechanicsburg or someone can give you, we just saw Hershey just got smashed by Milton Hershey. That's a final now. So they smashed them. I mean, who on that schedule is going to be able to contend with these guys?
I mean, you called it out. I mean, like anything, you don't want to, as any high school coach will say, we're playing quarter by quarter, one team at a time.
Absolutely.
Anything can happen, but right now this team's polished to really, run the table. Middletown, again, will have to punt. Becker will take it at the 40. Crossing the 50. Up the middle, and he'll be pulled down across the 45. And the ball will be on the 43.
Number 6, Nias Becker.
I think it's time for the hit parade.
you know, and I like the fireworks and the fire, and it says hit parade. It got JP written all over. Oh man, you got the big sack by Joseph comes up. I mean, Middletown started out on fire, and then the other way around, and you know, you just saw guys getting hit from behind. Back pads are all getting involved. And even, I mean, Burnett took a lick too. I mean, you know, but he got up and handled it. So we didn't have as many in the hit parade, and most of them were in the beginning of the game, but we had some decent hits.
That was our Invicta hit parade, and we want to thank the Invicta crew tonight for our game, the collaboration between them, High School Sports Live and ABC 27, Grace Grill and Archie Smith Jr. out there, Jerome Presley. 10 years that we've done this together, and it's been really good. I mean, we've called a lot of games prior to this at arena football. We used to call arena football games when Archie Smith Jr. was out there running around, dancing, taking balls 50 yards in the half, you know, that half field in Harrisburg, and the big barn we used to call it Archie Smith Jr. used to be fireworks waiting to happen, man.
Hey, guys, like I say, it's an honor, man, to be a part with you guys. Like I was going through some archives, man, when you interviewed me. And now we out here working together, man. And Jerome used to always bring us down, and his daughter and everything. And now she's a senior in high school, man. So we're looking at the years past, a junior.
Yep.
And, man, it's just been a great thing, man. And the most incredible about this job is just watching these players grow up. Absolutely. And watching what they're going to turn into. Like, we're saying that guys are going to play on Saturday. We're watching these guys actually go and play on Saturday.
Yeah, it's amazing. Seeing the maturation of guys, and you talk about it, Archie. I mean, you know, Lopez, remember where Lopez came from, having that huge year last year, seeing him this year. You know, we see Burnett. We remember Burnett was a sophomore, and now you see how polished he is. And one of the things I did want to go back, we looked at Bishop McDevitt's schedule. Let's look at Middletown, because Middletown's schedule has a couple of games that are pretty significant for that league. You know, they have McDevitt tonight. You know, they have Camp Hill, which is struggling this year. Steel High is always dangerous. Boiling Springs. That Milton Hershey game is a dangerous one at Milton Hershey with the athletes. They have Trinity, East Pennsboro, and then Paul Myron. So there are some teams that are going to be a little difficult.
Well, there's flags down. It's probably more likely coming back. But there you go again, where you see Tinker and his speed as a sophomore. We talk about sophomores. You guys mentioned it. Chase Steele, remember when he came in for Tavon Bowers. Tavon Bowers, who a year before had 48 touchdowns, 3,000 yards as a junior. And the QB1 show that's now on Netflix followed him. We remember when he went out, and we remember just thinking, my goodness, why does this happen to such a great kid his senior year, who's now at Wake Forest. And Chase Steele comes in as a sophomore, and you just remember him, just the lack of maturity kind of thrust it into a role maybe a little soon. But he developed even in that year, and then just got himself together by junior year, come out, had a great junior year. And I mean, this has kind of been, that's been McDevitt, somebody at the play calling, playing 2-3 years. And it's always next guy up in Middletown with their consistency they've had. So hats off to both of these programs, the Middletown Blue Raiders, the Bishop McDevitt Blue Raiders. We are always glad to be part of all this. Not much for Tinker on that side. We got some other guys to call as they're coming in here. I mean, guys coming up to making the tackle. We've got just a host of young guys coming in there getting opportunities to spotlight. Tahai Brody is in the game now and entered the game.
Piggyback on what you guys said, like we covered Middletown last year, and they had Brady Fox. Now I remember coaching against him when I was a coach at Susquehanna in the midget league football, and now these guys are graduating and moved on. So, man, you can see the replacement and the type of skill that's placing up in Middletown, man. These guys are going to be good as years to come, guys.
And Brady Fox is at Shippensburg, and I think that's a good place for him to have an opportunity to play running back there for the Red Raiders. And that team, you know, it started out really good. So I think he didn't play last week, but he'll have an opportunity, hopefully, if not this year, definitely in future years at Shippensburg if he works hard.
I think we got a horse color going against McDevitt from Tymir Jackson, the sophomore. I think he got him from the backside. So
it'd like to be against Middletown.
Against Middletown, that is.
And you know, those are always big penalties. And people may
a face mask, excuse me.
Face mask, okay. And you know, with the horse collar, at least
I thought it was
that's
a
not
horse
what it
collar
was.
too. Yeah, but
from this
okay,
angle, it did look like that.
It did look from up here, but it's going to be a face mask that goes against Middletown. The ball will be at the 27-yard line. It'll be second down and 10.
But as we looked at that schedule for Middletown and we talked about some hard games for them, they also can run the table. I mean, you know, even as good as Milton Hershey, as good as Still High can be, this Middletown team is a juggernaut. So even though they're losing this game and it probably will go on to lose this game, of course, they stepped up in class a little bit with this game, and they go back to their level. And I'll tell you what, they are a scary team. When you look at Lopez, how hard and what he was able to do running the ball today, against the teams in that division, he is going to be able to have another year like this again. And so I think Middletown is in good shape. This is their first loss of the season, and they may go on and run the table. They still have a chance to get back to winning the league, winning districts, and get back to the state championship again for their class. So there's nothing for them to be ashamed of, especially if they can come out of this with minimal injuries. That's the big thing.
That is the big thing. And I've got a lot of different guys on the field now, giving some guys some more opportunities. Brett Myers, his club is. And we've got a quarterback change for McDevitt. Oleyua is the quarterback. He's a junior. He's getting an opportunity here to replace Chase Deal, who had literally just under 500 yards tonight.
And his percentage is up. And I think that's the one thing about Chase Deal. He's already, coming into this game, he was completing 67% of his passes. And he's done nothing today to change that. 67% of his passes are being completed coming into the day. So that showed you how accurate he's been, almost 70% completion.
Give left side Tinker, boy, making some hits. Some good-sized guys coming in the game here from Middletown.
That's a sophomore. Brock Welts gets in on the action. The big guy on the outside comes in and makes a play. And this is a great experience on both sides to get your young guys some playing time in a big game like this. This is always a good thing to do. This is a little different than the JV atmosphere, so it gives a little varsity experience in a big game.
I 100% agree with you on that, Jerome. Being a young guy, getting ready to get into the game, man, you don't care if it's 15, 17 seconds, man. Coach, let me get on that field, and you cherish and you enjoy every second of it when you do.
So it'll be 3rd and 7. Give to Tinker right side. Tinker's going to cross the 40.
Yeah, Archer, you'll be our age sitting up here wishing you had one more down. I know I've thought about that for 20-something years. One more down. And my mind thinks it can do it, but my body knows it can't.
I do the same thing, too. I try to picture myself in today's football. And, man, seeing the opportunity that these kids get, but the violent and the physical part of the nature has declined some from our days. So I don't know how I would fare well. I know I'll probably have 3 or 4 personal fouls against me.
Yeah, you would adjust though, man. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's the love of the game, the smell of the grass and the field and the stadium, and especially high school. There's nothing like high school football. The atmosphere with it. You see Middletown. This has been an amazing venue. The whole town is here for this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, even though this is going to be a loss, a 40-14 loss, the whole town is here, out here enjoying themselves, seeing these kids play. And this is amateur football at its finest when you have a small school football, tough, good tackling, grass field, old school stadium. And that's what this field reminds me of, is what I played on back in the 90s, and just, you know, seeing it makes me feel good about what I did and played, and wishing that I had that chance to get out there on that field again.
Oh, yeah. There's 2:29 to play. First down, 2 to go. First down and 10, excuse me. Ball in the 50. Everybody getting opportunities to play here. It's good to see. Well, we really need to look at our Hoffman Ford play of the game and finalize that. We'll have our Pizza Hut play of the game. So we're going with 2, as we said. We're going to go with Nazir Burnett, receiver, as well as Chase Dill, and I think that gets everybody to vote.
That's a
From
lethal
our crew,
combination.
From our Invicta crew all the way down to anyone that gets a vote on this one tonight. Guys, we just couldn't settle on one, and that's the fairness of what we thought we saw tonight, and that's just great positive play on both sides. And we were really welcomed here at War Memorial Field by the Middletown staff, so we're appreciative of that. 1:39 to play, and coming up, our giant post-game report. We'll have our Pizza Hut play of the game and our Hoffman Ford player of the game, and we'll talk and wrap this one up today from Middletown, War Memorial Field. 1:20 to play. To be third down and 9. Ball on the 49.
And we have some finals around the area as well.
But McDevitt has 600 total yards. And Middletown has 289. Wow. I mean, I didn't come in and expect that. I don't think, I don't know who did. Maybe with the exception of McDevitt. But, man, 600 total yards.
That's something else.
289 is not shabby when you think about the Middletown side. But Archie Smith Jr., I don't know if you heard that, 600 total yards for Bishop McDevitt tonight. So it'll be 4th and 8. We're under 40 seconds now.
And let's see some of the final scores that we have around the area. Manheim Township has beaten Central Dauphin 22-12, and that'll put Central Dauphin's first loss. DeLone Catholic has run away from Still High 54-19, and it's still going. Milton Hershey has finished out the game against Hershey. Susquehanna Township has beaten Huntington to get their first win on the season. Lower Dauphin has lost to Exeter Township 43-10. Southwestern has lost to Carlisle 35-7. Lampeter Stroudsburg is in the fourth quarter over West York 35-28. York Suburban is up on East Pennsboro 34-20. And we already talked about the final of Coatesville 35-19 over Cumberland Valley. Shippensburg area has won and beaten Bermudian Springs 37-17, and Camp Hill has lost big 56-16 to West Perry. So just some of the scores from around the area on a good night for football, just all around the mid-state.
Well, we appreciate you keeping us updated on the scores. And so it'll be 1st and 10. Middletown will have the ball back. Scott Ash will stay in at quarterback position. Tamir Jackson will be the give, left side, the sophomore. Crossed in the 30, staying on his feet and pushing and shoving, going across the 35-yard line.
First down.
And that's going to be it here from War Memorial. Man, 40-14 McDevitt on the road here beats and goes on 3-0 and beats Middletown at War Memorial Field. Middletown goes to 2-1 on the season. We'll have our giant post-game report. We'll have our Pizza Hut play of the game, and we'll have our Hoffman Ford player of the game, all coming up right after these messages. McDevitt 40, Middletown 14. Back with more after these messages.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Well, welcome back to our giant post game. Jerome Presley. We know what's happening right here. Archie Smith Jr. Coach Rector has his 200th McDevitt win, his 213 overall, and this is what happens when you have your 200th Bishop McDevitt, and that's incredibly impressive. Cold and impressive.
Yeah,
but Coach Rector's been doing this for a long time. He's had a lot of special players. He has players playing at the next level, and I mean, he gets the drenched bath. Boy, he got a performance out of his group tonight. He had 600 total yards for McDevitt, and that's just incredible numbers. I mean, those are numbers right now that Chase Dill's posting numbers right now. He was leading passer in the Commonwealth coming in, and I mean, he's just set.
He is.
He's set himself apart right now.
Yeah, and he has a lot of weapons, but he's getting the ball right to him.
Well, this gives us an opportunity to go to our Pizza Hut play of the game, and there were so many of them here tonight. And I mean, I know our Vicar crew and staff has to pick from so many of them. We think Josh Edwards in the truck for all he's done here, and this right here was 84 yards for Tanias Becker. One play, 82-yard drive, and Becker just makes one guy miss.
It was a track meet.
And look again, right here.
100-meter dash.
Whoop, whoop. Okay.
That's a 100-meter dash right there.
That's what that is.
100-meter dash.
That kid is completely talented.
Take the baton, replace the football with the baton,
100-yard dash. And that was Tanias Becker, the senior, who's going to Old Dominion on an 82-yard. That was our Pizza Hut player of the game. And we also decided between Archie Smith Jr., who's up in the booth joining us now, and Jerome Presley, we decided that it was just hard to call one guy tonight. So Chase Dill, and Nazir Burnett, the numbers are incredible. He had 600 total yards combined. I mean, Chase Dill passed for 429, 16 for 25, and 6 TDs. He was also a player of the game, so we co-player of the game tonight. And, guys, I agree 100% here on the High School Sports Live with this one. Arch, Jerome?
I mean, guys, when you have really, McDevitt has a three-headed monster.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a playmaker, like me and Jerome say. When you got a quarterback that can get your athletes the ball, you're ready.
Well, we're going to go down to Grace Grill, who's standing by with our Hoffman Ford players of the game. She's with Chase Dill and Nazir Burnett. Grace, you're with two very special players. We're going to go down to you tonight. They had a big night, over 600 total yards. The fact that we saw this happen here on War Memorial is something very special tonight. Grace?
Thanks, guys. I'm with our Hoffman Ford players of the game, quarterback Chase Dill, receiver Nazir Burnett. Chase, I'll start with you. 429 yards tonight. Talk about your team's effort.
Honestly, we had a great week of practice, and my linemen played great. Had a couple injuries, but they played through it, and my receivers make it so easy for me. I mean, it's just an easy job being a quarterback at McDevitt right now.
Now, how is this year different from past years? I mean, this is your senior year, so go big or go home, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just work harder than ever before, honestly. And we're really close with our coaches. We really communicate well with them, and we just got to keep working hard, and we'll see how far we can go.
All right, thanks, Chase. All right, big man, your turn. Syracuse commit showed out tonight. Talk about your game tonight.
They played me man, so it was only right that I took advantage of it.
You certainly did. We saw that single-man coverage on you, and one of your coaches told me that they do talk a little bit. Did that have anything to motivate you?
Oh, yeah, they were talking a lot. Like, before the game, they were clapping at us, coming past the 50. We just use it as motivation.
And I'll toss this to both of you guys. What does it mean to be a part of Coach Wechter's 200th win?
I mean, it means a lot. It's a blessing. He's a real good coach, and I'm just happy to be a part of his team.
Chase?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's the best coach I've ever had, and he's really like a second father to me. I mean, he means the world to me.
All right, guys, those are our Hoffman Ford players of the game. Guys, back to you.
Well, it was an incredible performance out of both of them. I mean, Nazir Burnett and Chase Dill, they really put on they
clinic.
Put on a clinic, an offensive clinic. I don't. It's hard to say. I mean, I give a lot of credit to Middletown.
Yeah.
The crowd, the community down here at War Memorial, the way they treat us when we come up here. But man, tonight we saw a team right now that's playing at an inferior level. Archie Smith. I mean, that's the best inferiority. Now, like next game, Steel High versus Trinity. We always know that's a special matchup. Always look forward to that one. But man, tonight we saw something that I don't know in our 10 years together in the combination that we saw maybe that kind of dominating performance offensively.
I was just down on the sideline and I was taking in the moment and the greatness of this game that we just seen. And I was just saying, I don't think I ever seen a high school player pass almost for 500 some yards in a game live. I mean, but as a receiver, I used to be a receiver. If that quarterback, if you don't have a quarterback that gets you that ball, then all those good routes you're running, everything that you're working hard for is really pretty much for nothing. As a receiver, you are extremely blessed to be able to have a guy who can spin it. Once again, a gunslinger back there and a guy who's very accurate and who can stand in the pocket, take the hit, and still deliver the ball.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think for me, as good as McDevitt has played, looking at that schedule and seeing that the meat of their schedule is pretty much done. And again, they have to play each week, of course. But man, this is one of those situations that it's going to be hard pressed to see anybody on that schedule that will be able to play with them. And again, for the league, seeing them that powerful is going to be big. But the big thing is going to be is, once they get into the playoffs, can they keep themselves motivated if each week becomes a blowout? That Gettysburg game was tough last week. They did what they did to Cumberland Valley, and we're seeing that Cumberland Valley, have run into a really tough start for them. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to them.
Well, reminder to all the fans, you can watch this game in its entirety on High School Sport, hsslivetv.com. Next week, Steel High Trinity on behalf of Invictus Sports, ABC, High School Sports Live, Jerome Presley, Archie Smith Jr., Grace Grill. I'm Todd McCall. Have a great night, everyone.